make sure the D&D overlay is set to the right campaign.
My poor little computer locked up when I tried to use Hero Forge and Roll20 at the same time. So.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
All right. The stream is live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on So Many Levels, Rime of the Frostmaiden.
Winter is here.
We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Dungeon Master, Christiana Ellis. Our players tonight, Lee Burdett as Iggy,
Hello.
David Archambault as Wilfred Cole,
Hello.
Jason Banks as Rowan Gregor,
Hold on.
Paul Weimer as Aule,
Salve.
and Nobilis Reed as Marcher Northwind.
I have decided the owlbear's name is Lilla.
Lilla the Owlbear. All right. So,
Lilla.
Which might confuse people who didn't listen or watch last time. Yes, we have an owl bear now.
yes.
Yes.
Yes, we have
I
an
have an
owlbear.
owlbear now.
Oh,
Yes.
Well,
It has
okay.
us. Marcher has an owlbear. The owlbear has the rest of us.
so, who wants to tell everybody about the owlbear and the other things that happened last week?
I think this is Nobilis's ball here.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Go ahead and brag
I-
about the owlbear.
See, okay, some other stuff happened that wasn't really anything important. And then while we were on our way to the to Kelvin's cairn,
Yeah.
or at least to pass by Kelvin's cairn, just to have a look, we happened to encounter an owlbear, and we revealed that my character's secret is friend to owlbears. And after sacrificing a fairly substantial amount of our food, which is going to entail a bit of a change in plans, but we can deal. I befriended it, and it is now with us. And for good or ill, we now have a rather large predatory creature following us around.
Yes.
Welcome to the Seekers Traveling Circus.
Yes, this owlbear is very happy to be part of this pack so long as the food keeps coming.
Mm-hmm.
Rowan, would you like to talk about
Given
some
how
of the other things?
given
that
how
happened?
much it needs, it must have one hell of a metabolism.
Mm.
Nothing really, else, happened outside of
Assassination?
assassination on my
Attempted.
life
Yeah.
because I
Well,
made
that was an incidental.
happened to be
Yeah.
there for the throne of Neverwinter.
Yeah. But that's,
Pelda nearly died. So yeah, that also happened.
Yeah, Ali nearly died. I was hit very, very hard and would have died if not for Ali.
Mhm.
Small details compared to the owl bear.
Yeah.
Mere bag of shells. Mere bag of shells.
Yeah. So, that was basically what happened last time. Is you were traveling overland on your way across the tundra of Icewind Dale. Minor attempted assassination. New owlbear friend.
Yep.
And I think, I'm trying to remember, I think technically your token was a little bit further along when we had the owlbear. I just didn't move your token,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I think then we will pick up at the end of, you know what? I did not re-listen to the very end of last time to remember what time of day it was that you met your owlbear friend. Because I think
It was while we were moving. It was while we were moving.
yeah. So I think so. You had gotten a long rest, but then were attacked by assassins.
Mhm.
Oh,
Wait.
the long rest was after the assassins.
Right. Okay. So you had gotten part of a long rest. And okay. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I did not double check exactly where we
Okay.
left that.
We had a day's worth of travel, and we made camp and basically tried to counter ambush the assassins, which
Right.
kind of partially worked and partially didn't.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then we had that long rest, and the next day
Right.
is when we encountered the owlbear.
Right. So I think we were in the middle of that day.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's say, for the sake of argument, that happened around noon, and it's noon right now, and now you have an owlbear.
Yes. I think that we should stop off somewhere we can get more food. Do you
Yeah.
think the dwarves in the Dwarven Valley would be willing to sell us something? They're the closest civilized area.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we did want to give them a heads up about the Duragar.
And
Yes.
we also wanted to try to look and see if we saw any signs of that expedition as well.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Well, those
And
are-
looking
Yep.
into the whatever it was. So yeah, Dwarven Valley looks like a
yeah.
good choice, maybe.
So
Yes. I think we need to visit there.
yeah, I think what you would know, Rowan, is that generally speaking, the dwarfs of the Dwarven Valley are very friendly up to a point, which means they are very happy to trade with people if they have stuff or gold. They are very friendly so long as the people are not expecting to be let in to stay at the Dwarven Valley. They are not a hotel.
Hmm.
But so it's kind of like friendly, but do not assume too much.
We need to buy a good deal of food,
So you can
or
almost
we
certainly
will
do
need
that.
to have some successful hunts.
Yeah.
That is also a possibility. I don't think that is an impossible way to feed the creature, but it might slow us down a great deal.
Mhm. So you are currently the expedition to Kelvin's Cairn and the Dwarven Valley are not in precisely the same direction from you right now.
No.
So
yes.
you would have, you could get to the Dwarven Valley, by finishing your travel today, because you can get to kind of the beginning of it in 2 miles.
Yes.
Or alternately, you can go about that far in a different direction to get to where you would expect expeditions up Kelvin's Cairn might start.
It does not matter to me which way, but I think that buying food at the Dwarven Valley is a higher priority.
They would probably also have word of any thing passing through.
And that's something
Any
we
updated
could ask about them
intelligence,
there.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because
I mean, if I was going to go, I mean, depending on how passable the valley is from one end to the other, if I was going to go from Bryn Shander to Kelvin's Cairn, going through the Dwarven Valley might be a safer way to go than other possibilities. I mean, I've never been through it. What do you say?
Yes.
it
How
would
deep is this valley? What do you know about it,
Probably
Rowan, as far as
be faster, or
topography?
at least easier to go through that if you're heading towards Kelvin's Cairn anyway, given going overland is so arduous.
Just to clarify one of the things that I said before, you probably would, if you needed it, be offered a place where you could, make camp that's out of the wind and out of the elements, but it's kind of like more like a campground than a hotel.
Right.
Right.
So
So,
they have a
it's
getaway,
like you're
but
not
not a
allowed
hotel.
into their places, but they do have a place where like a caravan or an expedition could set up without being quite so cold.
Okay.
Friendly enough.
So I think we should go to the Dwarven Valley and ask around and buy some food.
Though I do think once we're there, we probably should keep our new compatriot outside. I don't know if the dwarves would be too kind of a owl bear.
If it's not causing trouble. But okay, I mean, I imagine that that wherever they have for people to camp nearby is not too terribly close to their homes. But sure, I can hand you some gold to buy food with.
I mean,
And
they allow it in. That's fine. Although, it might be a little cramped in some places.
you know, it's rather warm to sleep next to. I think. I mean, I haven't tried it yet, but
You look over and Lilla has sort of floofed up his, the fur along his back, and then the feathers, it kind of transitions to feathers around the neck, and it's just kind of floofed up right now, just because it's just standing there.
he's just a big fluff ball.
With the razor sharp beak. That's
And
bigger than
claws.
me.
If they don't want him in, then we will make camp outside. That's not a big deal.
So you're gonna make your way to the.
We're going to make our way to the northern
Valley.
entrance of the Dwarven Valley,
All right.
and
So, you had previously already rolled to see whether there were any other random encounters that day, and the owlbear was the one. So nothing else eventful happens, but
Okay.
you make your way. It takes the remainder of your travel day for the most part to get there. But certainly you find that as you start moving towards the entrance to the valley, you do see that there's a path that has been, maintained and groomed, and like the snow has been cleared off of it to some extent, and there's a few markers along the path just to indicate the way to go and that sort of thing. And so as you kind of start following towards those, you do reach a place where you're passing along kind of the path goes under sort of a rock outcropping. And as you are passing underneath it, you hear a voice just saying, "Oi, who goes there?"
we are the Seekers. We were looking to do some trade, and perhaps find a place to sleep that's out of the wind.
You're looking around, and the voice came from above you, and you look up and you see that apparently that outcropping is hollow, and so you're looking up essentially through a murder hole.
Oh boy.
But what you
Again.
see at the other end is a dwarf face who just says, "All right, just keep going the way you are. I don't know why I suddenly changed accents, but there you go. It's just 'cause,
We also
all
have
dwarf are
some news
Scottish,
to discuss if anybody is interested in exchanging gossip.
What kind of news?
Well, we came from Kerkonig, and along the way there had some trouble with Duergar. And
Duergar?
evidently, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And evidently they have a plan to conquer the entire 10 towns. So we felt
Yeah.
that it would be worthwhile to tell you some of the details.
You'll
Yeah.
be wanting to talk to Lord Battlehammer then. I'll see that he meets you.
All right.
Thank you.
So we will follow
Bye.
along, and
And don't forget the Duragar in East Haven as well.
yes, there were Duergar in East Haven too. But the ones in Kerkonig had like a whole base and stuff. So
Well, and the one other piece that we didn't mention in our recap is that in searching that base, you found a map that seems to indicate the location of the big one, the big fortress.
yes,
Yes,
Yes.
a map that didn't get someone stabbed.
yes.
Yeah.
That's important.
Well,
It's a
you
first.
guys did the
Tarkala.
stabbing first, so it's really, it did get someone stabbed. It was just not you guys.
Actually, do any of us stab? Yes. Okay. Never mind. Yes. We do.
Yeah, we
do
have a
some
couple
stabbing.
stabby.
You have a
We do
couple.
have a couple stabby people.
I'm a
Yeah.
smashy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Most of
if they
us-
actually, if they get close enough, I'm a stabby person. But that's the problem if they get close enough.
So you make your way
Hi.
deeper.
One thing would say is like, don't be alarmed by our animal companion.
Well, I'm not alarmed, but I'm also the one that's encased in stone up here, so
A very practical dwarf.
seems if anyone's to be alarmed, it ought to be you, but, suit yourselves.
Oh, don't worry. It's just a big fluff ball.
That's bigger than me with claws and teeth.
So let's find that place to camp out.
Sure. So you make your way further down that path, and like as you are making your way a little further down, you do hear like a horn call out from behind you from the outcropping. That is presumably a signal of some kind. But as you're looking forward into this valley, where it's it's a fairly steep, narrow valley, like the walls kind of tower up, and it's it occurs to you that it would actually be probably a very terrible place to be ambushed from people who live in caves along there that are probably disguised, and you're just feeling like there's not a lot of maneuvering space here and not a lot of place to go if there were to be a problem. Well, it's not like it's single file or anything, but the problem is the path is narrow, and even though the valley itself, it varies. Like if we look on the map here, the valley itself is like a quarter mile across at its widest. But the problem is that not all of that space is easily traversable because it's uneven. So there's a narrow path, and then there's an area where you suspect a river probably would flow through it if it was not completely frozen, but it's much deeper drifts of snow and that sort of thing. So, even though the actual physical space is a quarter of a mile, not all of that would be easily traversable.
Huge piles of rocks with people's legs sticking out from underneath them, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. But
if they were rude enough to try and force their way past the murder hole anyway.
But you do, as you are making your way a little further down, ahead of you, you see a stone door open. And a couple of dwarves with armor and axes kind of lean out and wave to you.
Let's head over to.
All right, we'll head there.
So, we're told by the lookout that you wanted to talk to Lord Battlehammer.
That is correct.
We have some information that we think he would be most interested in.
All right, well, he's on his way, but it'll be a bit, so we'll bring you in, but you got control of that creature there?
As long as we're here to buy some food, and as long as it's well fed, it's well behaved. So we're hoping to be able to buy something we can feed it.
Well, as long as you've got gold, I think we can tolerate owlbear.
I've got gold.
All right then. So they are definitely like watching it carefully, but I think Lila does seem fairly, passive and compliant at the moment. So, doing what you say, and they're basically not letting their guard down, but
Yeah.
While we're here, we can see if we can exchange those gems, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
How many did?
It was 500 gold worth.
Yeah, we only got one or two of those, didn't we?
No. We got all of them. They're from our
No, we only got one.
You agreed to only take one of the 500 gold gemstones because the town didn't actually get to have the cauldron.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only got one of those.
Yeah.
But it was only one, but it was still 500 gold.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you think that they would certainly be willing to make an exchange in that regard, although it's kind of up to you how you would want to break it up, just because 500 gold in gold pieces is heavier than a gemstone.
This might be a good time to buy an axe beak and some things, since we've got
Yes.
500 gold, it would be more affordable to say, okay, here it is, and we need axe beaks and sleds and stuff like that.
I think they actually don't use those very much.
Okay.
You
They
recall
are-
the sledge that they were carrying the iron on was carried by their people.
Yeah. Bear in
Yeah.
mind, most of what they do is underground.
Yeah.
They
Right.
and
Okay.
they
Yeah,
they
we
don't
could
come out
also-
a lot.
I mean, and since dwarves are natural miners and
Mm-hmm.
things, they may have platinum here as well, which we could convert some of the gold into, so it's not as
Yeah.
heavy.
Heavy,
Oh.
yes.
Yeah. 50 platinum is much more reasonable to carry.
So what I would say is that whatever sort of more mundane business you want to take care of in that regard, you can arrange just with the folks you recognize as the place they lead you into. Is certainly like a cave, but it's well lit, and it does seem to really be like a trading outpost. Like, this is a place where they bring people who have come to trade with the dwarves.
Okay.
And so you can
Yes.
see that to get anywhere else from in here, it's relatively fortified. But this is a place that is inside out of the weather and well lit and dry and so on.
Won't necessarily have to worry about the dome.
Well, won't
Yeah.
need that tonight.
So I guess just decide what amount of gear you want and how much you're buying and what other sorts of things you might inquire about. Lord Battlehammer's on the way, but you can kind of deal with any of that other business in the meantime.
Well, I think maybe secure food first.
Yeah, we're definitely looking for something to feed to Lilith.
Okay. I mean, so I think they have what we'll just call, essentially, I mean, how about this? So we can, if you like, just abstract that food, right? Like, we can say, Lila requires 9 gold pieces worth of food per day, and we can just say, you buy, 5 days worth of food, and we can decide what that is, but we don't have to convert multiple things. We can just say, you buy a day's worth of food for 9 gold, and then you can buy as many of those things as you want.
How much do you fellows want to contribute to this? I can afford to buy 4 days by myself, but that will tap me out. And we also have that gem we can buy more with. So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 500 golds and split between the 5 of us, that'd be
100.
50 gold each. Yeah, 100 gold. I wouldn't have a problem putting 3.
I mean, it's not like he needs it particularly prepared. We just need a bunch of fish.
Hmm.
I can, and when we have, once I finish, some looking for items here, I can go while you guys talk to Battlehammer. I can go hunt.
It's good. It's best we not split up. I mean, if you had met an owlbear out there on your own, it would not have gone so well.
To say nothing of the assassin.
Yes.
Okay. Do they have someone selling armor?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I would say that just about anything that would be in the standard adventuring equipment chapter can be found.
Because what I wanted to do was buy some scale mail
Okay.
to put on under, because yay, Warlock's hex weapon, I have proficiency. And I can increase a little bit my armor class without having to use magic all the time. It's scale mail is 50 gold pieces, which I have.
I think we're going to want to sell that gem. And,
Yeah.
and between the food we want to buy and things like that.
Sure. So, because I'm not picky about these things, I trust all of you to just kind of we can discuss what you're getting, but like I trust you to just go ahead and add it to your own sheet and subtract the appropriate gold.
Okay.
All right. So from here, are we going to go up to the Black Cabin, or are we going to go to Lonelywood?
Figured go Tourmaline Lonelywood then Black Cabin.
We can do it either way. They're both about the same distance, but I'm thinking of how much time we're going to take. How many miles do we make in a day as it stands?
You travel. I think with the snowshoes, it was half a mile per hour.
Okay, so 4 miles a day.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to need to get 4 days worth of food for let's make it 5 and everybody pitch in 9 gold for Lila's food.
Done.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. I'll mark that out. I'm going to
Okay.
add.
Okay. No to the scale mail then.
Why?
Well, I mean, if we cash in that
Yeah.
that
Cash
gem,
in
we
the
have
gems,
enough.
so you
No,
have
it's the stealth.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
yeah.
The stealth.
That's some
The
of the
stealth
trade-offs
debuff.
with some of those, right? Yeah.
You can
So
You go with a breastplate.
I mean, that
It's-
costs 8 times as much, but yeah.
yeah, I was actually. Let's see. Let's see if that will work.
Oh, we can just go ahead and assume we trade in the diamond or the gem, right?
Sounds like it. So maybe
Yeah.
whoever has that gem in their inventory, remove it, and everyone else can.
I
add 100
I also
gold.
have that 50 gold piece carnelian. We can cash that in as well, and each get 10 gold out of it. So let me.
Let's
remove that.
hold on to that. I don't think we
Hold
need
that?
to cash that in yet.
Okay. I'll keep it in my inventory.
I'm gonna sell some of these torches.
Bear in mind, if you're selling it gear, you don't get the amount that you can buy it from.
Oh no, I'm halving it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, what it was my carrying capacity was exceeded.
Oh.
You know, that's the thing. I don't think I had it set to actually count weight of currency. But I'm pretty sure I'd be unencumbered without even with that counting.
And how much would a day's worth of food for Lilith weigh?
Well, so let's see. Rations. Let's see. Where was that?
It's like a pound a day or something like that.
Where was that stuff?
Let's see.
Um.
Because I have 10 rations
okay,
on me. And they weigh 20 pounds, so 2 pounds a ration.
2 pounds per day. Yeah, and it's a half a gold each. So that's 18. That's 36 pounds per day. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
We might want to.
Well, I'll rule that you can cut that in half because you're essentially buying just like bulk meat instead of having
Yeah.
it like wrapped up
All right.
and presented and being a little bit more varied like a person would want.
All right.
Need to make an item owlbear food.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
Technology is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that food weighs 90 pounds, but because I'm a Goliath, I am not encumbered. So he just takes his pack and shoves whatever it is, fish, sausages, pork loins, in, half sit. Okay, we're good.
I think your owlbear's eating better than we are.
Does he share?
Yeah, I think as you're sort of bringing that out and they're kind of, sorting it and weighing it and everything, there's definitely a lot of like curious sniffing, like,
Well, after it's purchased, I'm definitely going to throw the day's meal to Lila there.
yeah.
So we actually have 4 on hand.
I think watching it eat is vaguely terrifying. I won't even say vaguely because like it's actually terrifying in a very specific way. But yeah, so it wolfs down what it is given, and then it kind of turns around in a couple of circles, and then flumps down onto its back, and I think it's actually kind of like stretched out with its arms and legs, like. And it makes and just kind of starts doing hooting little snores.
I am not going to be the one to wake it up.
I think Piccolo takes off from my shoulder and just kind of curls up in the chest fur feathers and starts whistling in counterpoint.
It's a great thing for musical accompaniment.
I told you it was a circus.
All right.
I do have a
Wonderful
drum.
melody of a pseudo dragon and owl bear.
So, has everyone got like that stuff sorted? Whatever you're getting.
I'm looking through the list there, but we can keep going while I
Okay.
look.
Well, so I think you guys have mostly you've actually done all of that business, and you're waiting, and I mean you're being told Lord Battlehammer doesn't just hang out by the trading post, right? He's got stuff to do. So, but he is coming. They tell you that you can feel free to make camp in this area. That they will bring out a brazier for you rather than you making your own fire.
Nice, thank you very much.
And
Yes.
he'll be here when he gets here.
Do they happen to have any kind of special dwarvish gear that's maybe not on the list that might be interesting?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I'll just because you in case you guys are curious, I am happy to make up stuff, but I'll let you know that at least per the adventure module, there's really not anything about the valley here. There's not a map or anything like that.
Okay.
Is there any good dwarven ale that we could purchase
You're looking for
and
some
play
beer?
while we're-
Well, we definitely got some good malt beer. You have to get the things expected in a dwarven mine, malt beer, meat right off the bone. Yeah, so I think they definitely have some good beer that they're happy to discuss. Anyone who actually knows anything about brewing, they're like, oh yeah, like these are total micro brew snobs.
Yeah, Wilfred doesn't know about brewing. He just knows that he's just heard that dwarven beer is good and tends to agree when sampling.
Well, this guy who runs the trading post is more than happy and capable of carrying on that entire conversation by himself. So, yeah. So I think as long as you guys tolerate that, he seems extremely happy with you being able to just tell you all about how they make different kinds of beer.
Yeah, and Wilfred will just sit and listen because
Sure. I mean, he really does seem to know what he's talking about. He seems very passionate on the subject. But so eventually, though, you guys have been there a couple of hours, and you're maybe starting to just figure out what your whole sleeping situation's going to be there. I think it's warm enough there. Like, you wouldn't probably call this a warm place, but certainly it's not like it is outside. You guys would,
we're not going to freeze to death.
you don't
here,
need
as long
any
as we stay bundled
additional
up.
shelter beyond just what you've already got with your blankets and bedrolls and such.
Right.
And so but eventually, it's into the evening when there is kind of a flurry of activity beyond the sort of little fortified area, and a dwarf in full armor and does come out, and he's got a big old warhammer over his shoulder, and that's not you don't pick up any sort of a hostility from that. You just get the feeling like this guy brings a battle hammer with him and armor wherever he goes. That's just his thing. That's
Yeah. Hey,
this is his pajamas
Alright.
for all you know.
Well, Wilfred has a warhammer and shield on him, so yeah.
okay.
So he comes out, and he's got a couple of guys with him, although he does not seem particularly concerned or anything or wary. He just comes in, and he says, "So what's all this about Duragar then?"
Well, we were passing through Kerkonig, and they had some thefts. And we tracked down the thieves to a fortification, not a fortress,
Outpost.
an outpost, nearby there, and it was inhabited by Duragar. And they had
On the surface.
they had a zombie ogre, and that sort of that they used for pushing things around, and we cleaned it out, killed all the Duragar. But one of the things we found was a map of the 10 towns,
I'll pull out the
And,
map.
and
And I'll offer him to it.
and while we were fighting them, they boasted of having a plan to conquer the entire area. And
What?
since your valley is pretty much in the middle of it all, I wouldn't be surprised if their plans included you.
Well, I have to say, the idea of fighting off Duragar from the surface is quite unusual. Usually that's something we worry about coming from below. Duragar on the surface is quite unusual, except, of course, I suppose, with all the Frostmaiden's nonsense you got up there. It's dark more often, huh?
Yes, very much so.
Yes, we've definitely seen that creatures that are happier in darkness are more active now than they have been in previous years.
Well, it doesn't surprise me then that the Duragar would start coming up elsewhere and attacking the surface without having to go through us,
So
they wouldn't
we
dare.
thought you would be interested in knowing this.
Oh, by far, we definitely are. So it's good to know. In fact, for every Duragar you kill, you have my personal thanks.
And we also encountered one in East Haven, but it escaped from us. It was it was invisible and small and very difficult to catch.
And
So-
a very sharp dagger.
Yes.
So you say they have some sort of a plan? Do you know what that entails?
They boasted that there was a plan, and they were going to, and their home base is in a place called Karkalok.
That's not correct.
That's
No.
not it? Oh, okay.
It was sunblight.
Karkalak was the goblin.
Sunlight, yes,
the
Sunlight, right, wrong
yeah.
place. Sunlight, off to the south of Redwaters.
Yeah, Karkalak was the goblin fortress.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Sunlight. And they're
And they do appear to be collecting Chardolin.
yes, and they're
That
collecting
has something to
Chardonnay.
do with this plan.
Yeah. The ones in East Haven, we think there were probably 4 of them. We only encountered one. Had snuck into the town, completely destroyed a Chardolin. Well, effectively, it was a statue at that point, and made off with most of it.
Chardolin, you say? Well, so what do you lot know about Chardolin?
Well, it's a mystical material that can absorb and retain magical energies, and that a lot of the Chardolin around here has been tainted by rather evil influences. But
Well-
not all of it that we found has been that way.
Well, you know the big stuff at least then. So, what you might not know about Shardlin is that it's actually quite malleable for a crystal. You know, if you can get some that won't drive you mad just by touching it, it's actually pretty useful for making a larger structure.
I was wondering how they had made that statue that we found.
You know, like most crystal, obviously, you know, once it shatters, there's no putting it back together. But Shardlin can be remolded.
That is
Sounds
a
like
useful attribute.
Well, it sounds like metal.
Is it used?
It
for,
does work a
is it
bit
used
like
for-
metal in that regard.
Is it used for weapons or anything like that?
Well, generally no, because although it does have some, you know, properties as you mentioned, holding, you know, magical enchantments and the like, it's more used for, you know, a magical type of assault rather than a physical weapon. You know, given that it's malleable, it's kind of simultaneously got the weaknesses, brittleness of crystal, but then also a bit of softness. It's not really suited for like an axe.
Let's say a wizard's staff or a rod.
That might do you better if you've got the skill to use it. That is. So,
Or I can see it.
I'll give a glance at the thingy.
but see, the
There being
problem,
a-
as you might know, is that when you find Shardlin just out in the wild, not in a raw mine or such, it's as like to drive you mad as it is to doing you any favors.
Is there a way to purify it?
Well, you know,
Cleanse it.
this is not my area of expertise, but that is my understanding, is that just like it can be charged with different kinds of magic energy, if you had a bit that was charged up with lots of evil magic, you could use a counterpoint, good magic, to cleanse it. You know, so the sort of things that priests might do.
Yeah, that is very useful information. Thank you very much. We will keep this in mind when we find other.
You know, honestly,
find
my
it again.
advice would be, if you come across any Shardlin, just leave it alone.
That's what we have done in the past, but like I said, these Duergar are collecting it. And that's so. If we are going up against them, we are probably going to see it again.
Right. Well, you know, I hope that this won't sound too unsympathetic, but it doesn't strike me that this is really something. This seems more like a 10 towns problem.
Well, that is your decision to make, of course. But for my own part, as a Goliath, if people like these Duergar, they don't, you know, take something and then say, "Oh, that's as much as we'll ever need. We'll just stay right here and not go any further." They usually start to accomplish something like that, make a conquer, and then say, "What else can we take?" And your valley looks awfully convenient. So,
Well,
And
yes and no.
but,
I mean,
hey,
I cannot.
you know, like I said, this is your decision, and I know that you like to keep to yourselves.
I seem to remember that the leader of the outpost mentioning something about Doom coming in on dragon's wings, and Ale, your vision from Bahamut showing something, you know, you're telling us something very similar,
Rising up, yes.
like a weapon of some form.
I mean, that does sound worrying. I'm not saying that the Duergar are not a threat, but I have to say, the fact that they're emerging elsewhere and looking to take over 10 towns is probably a response to the fact that they don't think they can take us on. Otherwise,
they're
why
just-
wouldn't they have,
That's certainly possible.
you know...
Are
We
there,
are not here. We are not here looking for help. We are not looking for assistance. We are not looking for support. We are paying the courtesy of telling you what we know because we felt you would like to know. Thank you so much for your assistance, your information you've given us. I'm sure it will come in quite handy, and I do not wish to hold you on from what are no doubt pressing matters.
Well, Sir Goliath, I appreciate that courtesy and the good manners you've got here. So I see you've got the silver tongue that can tame an owlbear. You kind of you've got some persuasive words. I'll give what you say some thought. Do appreciate the news. Do regard
if we have
anywhere our bad
if we have the
news.
chance, we will send word if we learn anything new.
Much appreciated.
Now, before us did you hear any news of an expedition that passed through here?
Oh yes, we were interested in that. There were some people from, I think it was Bryn
Targos.
Targos, who were on their way to Kelvin's cairn, and I can't imagine that they would not have passed through if they had the opportunity.
Well, I cannot say I know anything about that.
We'll ask around at the trading post, because that's more likely where they would have stopped.
I mean, generally speaking, I don't know that expeditions going to the mountain would necessarily always stop here. You know, they're more likely to, if they're from the surface, they'd get whatever last gear they need in Tourmaline.
Well, it was worth it. It was worth asking about.
Fair enough.
Thank you for your assistance. We appreciate it.
Dude.
So he thanks you for your time and the information, and he kind of heads back on his way. So
Yes. And we will sleep there, and then the next day head out towards the cabin.
all right.
I wonder if there are any entrances to the Underdark near the Dwarven Valley.
Probably the Dwarven Valley itself is an entrance to the Underdark,
Probably.
if they mine far enough.
Yes.
Oh
But,
no! See, we've
if
learned
the
that
Jorgar
lesson not to
are
dig too
stern,
deep
they
or
should
too
be
greedily.
wary.
You know.
It's too.
No, I'm kidding. Just
No, I couldn't understand. I couldn't
Yeah,
hear.
it
I
was
said-
crosstalk, so yeah.
we've learned our lesson not to dig too deep or too greedily.
Nice.
These are wiser dwarves.
Well, you know, we've got a story. It's all about, you know, can you pass or no? It's the whole thing. Anyway, so you are able to get your long rest. It is now the 9th of Marpanoth. It is 10 days past the full moon, so
Getting close to a new moon.
yeah, so 15, it's a 30-day cycle, so, you know, in 5 days would be new moon, which does mean that increasingly it's even darker during the dark part of the night, because you have less moonlight.
Yes, and perhaps we can avoid being in town in those times. Does the Dwarven Valley do any sort of sacrifices, or is that just 10 towns?
They mostly, by virtue of being underground, don't worry so much about what the Frostmaiden thinks or does.
Okay.
Yeah. So they don't do any of that.
So, Tourmaline, then Lonelywood?
Or were
No, I
you
thought it
still
was
going to
Black
look for that
Cabin,
expedition?
No, I think we were going to head to the Black Cabin. Now that feeding our friend here is not an issue.
Didn't you want to check in on the Goliath lycanthrope though?
I wanted to, but well, if we come across tracks or other indications of this expedition, we might see what's going on. But to be quite honest, I'm not too terribly worried about them. I mean, that they have been there for a very long time, and it's not the first, people who've.
Well, and really the only intelligence you have on that regard is that you heard like third hand that someone
Yeah.
in the expedition thought that there was a lead there. So, you know, you don't know that there would be any actual...
Quite frankly, we have many things on our list, and
It's
if,
never growing list at this rate.
yes, and if we come across something, we can look into it,
And
and we should keep our eyes out for anything that might be leading in that direction.
Mhm.
But I'm not. I'm not interested in climbing that mountain because I mean it is not just a hill.
Yeah.
and plus, once we're done checking on the research at the Black Cabin, we can swing down into Lonelywood and Tourmaline and see if we hear anything else about the expedition and so forth.
Yes.
Okay.
So go to the cabin first, and remember there was also that I think at the moose.
The moose.
The moose. And quite frankly, it would be not good to not only eliminate that threat to the locals, but also perhaps get some more meat for Lily.
Yeah.
How does moose taste? I wonder.
Moosey.
Probably very gamey
Gamey.
and without a lot of fat.
Pretty. Especially now.
Yeah.
Especially now, mean and mean.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So, you are headed directly towards the Black Cabin, then? Is that? Am I
Yes.
remembering
That's
correctly?
Yep.
Okay. So let's see. You're gonna get not quite all the way there, about like around 2/3 of the way there in a day of travel. But first, let's see if stuff happens to you on your way. Who would like to roll a d8?
Who did
I
that?
will. An 8.
Uh-huh. Well, just so happens that you have an uneventful day of travel.
Yay!
Yay.
Though possibly not good for feeding Lily.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that your travel is just you guys just making
Yes.
making good time as opposed to doing any other activities. So,
But
You-
I have marked off a day's worth of food.
okay. So yeah, you guys do your 8 hours of travel, and you make some good progress over the land. Rowan is able to help you avoid some of the areas that would be a little bit more treacherous and find the shortest path around other sorts of environmental obstacles or hazards. And you make good time, making about 4 miles towards where you are told to expect this cabin. And so that is pretty much your day. So you're making camp. Are you doing snow caves again? Or are you making the hut?
I think
again?
snow caves. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see any great reason to break out the enchantment.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'll take first watch. Especially since we're actually not that far from Lonelywood, and we don't know how far this white moose that has troubled some folks has been traveling.
Yeah. The
And,
rumor was that it was
I will-
mostly in the forest, but you don't really know.
And I will take the last watch with Lila.
Okay.
And I'll take the middle watch.
So I didn't have you do this the last time, but let's get a survival check to make the caves. I think it's fair that you're kind of all helping, so you can have whoever you like do it with advantage.
Probably our ranger has the best score. My survival's +4, but I think his is better.
Well,
Yeah.
let's see.
Yeah, I think the ranger is.
Yeah. Mine's only +3.
Yeah. I'm just +1.
So yeah.
So are you making the survival check, Rowan?
I was seeing if there's anything I could add to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is not like an established normal roll or anything. It's just sort of like, making good. So you can roll once more since we're doing advantage. Well, so the second, so the 13. I think the 13 is fine,
Yeah.
right? You know what you're doing, and there's no surprises in terms of like, whoops, you accidentally dug into a crevasse and you fall to your death.
And as a note, around the area, Wilfred will be doing the alarm spell. That way, if anything gets close,
Very nice.
it will be an
Okay.
audible thing so everyone can hear.
Okay.
Very useful.
Yeah. And create bonfire spell to give us a nice cheery
Well, are you?
way to light the fire.
Well, I mean, if you're doing snow caves, you're probably not starting a fire inside the snow cave.
No. That would be outside.
Well, are you doing a fire outside?
I don't think that's necessary. We're not we don't have a lot of firewood here, and as long as we're out
Okay.
of the wind and everything, we'll be.
I mean, fires are nice, but it's also true that
Fires attract things.
Okay.
I mean, up to you guys.
Adventurers here. Get 'em.
It's certainly warmer when you have a fire, but
Yeah.
I mean, you can make a very small fire in something like an igloo, and it does warm things up actually a good deal. And
well,
but-
right. But you guys are not making a whole igloo, right?
No.
You're
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
I wonder, like, would create bonfire, like, since it's a cantrip, like, keep it, have it for a little bit at least to.
Well,
Yeah.
we don't need it.
I
Yeah.
mean, you can do
Okay.
it to sort of
Okay.
just like have it just on briefly, just to sort of heat the warm the air inside the cave a little bit,
Mhm,
Yeah.
and then trap the heat
Yeah.
inside. I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys set your watches. The watches are likewise uneventful, and so you all get another night's sleep. It is now the 10th of Marpanoth, 11 days past full, and so you know that at this pace you believe you would you ought to reach where the cabin is supposed to be today, but someone roll another d8 for me.
I
Oh,
will.
well, okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Whoever gets to roll 20 first.
Okay, 4. All right. So you get underway, and let's see. So I would say if you kind of stop and take a break around midday, you are almost there. I don't know why. There's not any particular reason to stop you. So I'll just go ahead and say you keep going, and it is about 5 hours into your travel day that you reach the vicinity. And so let me pull up what you find here. Okay, I didn't actually prepare this map because I kind of thought you were actually going a different place first. That's fine. It's not a problem. But let me, I just didn't go ahead and put your tokens on there already and everything, so. And so it might be, oops, don't need Docksrider there. So it's dark outside. Well, so actually right now it would be your twilight.
Yeah, during the
So-
light time of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll actually, let's see. Actually, you know what I'll do is, I'll do the thing that I did in the other map, which is I'll add a thing that gives off dim light.
Okay, I need to drop out for just a moment. I'll be back
Okay.
as soon as I can.
All right. There we go. And then Piccolo. And get Owlbear. And then what I need to do is, you know what, I'll just control it for now. But I need to make like a token version of Lilith so I can give that control to Nobilis. But in the meantime, so let's see, I'm just going to add this thing and make it give off dim light. And I'll make a. So these little blue fireball things are just there to like give off light. So don't worry about seeing them anywhere there. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So that should be light from outside there. So let's get that black cabin stuff ready to go here. Boy, that started to be like a little song, and then I just totally bailed.
I thought we were going for a song. Is this the musical piece?
It makes me think
episode?
there is an Evil Dead musical that has initial song is Cabin in the Woods, ooh, Cabin in the Woods, yeah. We're
My
5
college
college
did it.
students on our way to an old abandoned cabin in the woods.
I call it an Evil Dead musical.
Oh yeah,
It was fun.
let's see, got it. Move
We've
everybody.
got Lila with us too, right?
Yes, which I have. Lila is just literally in the shadow over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't have control over that token.
No, you don't. I'll have to set that up a different way,
Okay.
which I will do in the future. But in the meantime, I will just move Lila for you. But so, as you approach, also I mentioned this to them already, Nibilis, but these little blue fireball-looking things are just there to give off dim light so you guys can see.
Okay.
So, like, those are not actually things that your characters see. So, as you are traveling here, you are making your way to where you're expecting this place to be, and then you find, perched on the edge of a snowy ridge above a gorge, is a black lodge on wooden stilts. Whatever path might have led to this ramshackle retreat lies buried under snow. Icy steps climb to a snow-covered walkway that clings to the south side of the structure. The building's slumped posture and sagging snow-covered roof, coupled with the broken windows and loose flapping shutters, suggest utter abandonment. Large snowdrifts huddle around the rotting stilts and engulf a nearby woodshed and outhouse. Only the wind visits this sinister place.
Dun, dun.
This ominous.
So do I see 2 doors there on that walkway?
Yes.
One
There's
on the left and one on the
one
right?
here and one here. There also is a gap that would have to be jumped in the walkway. And
Right.
let me just indicate here, it's because it's on the GM layer. This is a ledge here that it is a crumbling ledge down that drops 120 feet to the bottom of the gorge below.
Yes. What is this black thing here that's poking out?
It's
Is
just
that
a shadow because of where I have the light things.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like it's
Yeah. Okay. I got
let's
it.
see.
Well, I will cast a light spell on my staff in order to
Okay.
be able to explore inside without having to worry about light so much.
Sure. So, as you are, this, by the way, this thing right here seems to be the outhouse.
Anything interesting in there?
Do you check?
Yeah.
All right. You have to clear some snow away from the door, which seems to indicate that, it's not been opened recently. You find inside a stack of what looks like notes and blueprints, but they're piled in a place that suggests that they would have another function.
Oh, not reading
Just
material.
gonna go ahead and
Or not just reading material.
like kind of go through them a little bit, just see anything interesting catches my eye.
Make an Arcana check. Or do you have Arcana? You can make investigation if you want. Or Arcana if you have that.
Only a 7.
Okay. I mean, a lot of it seems like it's crossed out. So it's hard to get really a sense of what it was supposed to be.
Perhaps these are notes that were unsuccessful. Something,
Yeah,
something cast
Recycling.
aside.
I guess their placement is the opinion of whoever gives the opinion
wrote
of
them, yes.
whoever wrote them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just trying to see.
I'm going to ask Piccolo to go up and look in the windows.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, so let me just double check because I think a lot of the shutters are closed. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so Piccolo is flying up around to look in the windows of various places. Okay.
Yeah.
So first looking in that window, what Piccolo would see from there.
Yeah, and I'm hanging on to LA and using my voice of the Chain Master to look through Piccolo's eyes.
Sure.
That works.
So just looking through the window, there's I'm having to to redact some of the description because there are some things that he wouldn't notice just looking through the window. But you see that this is a room that snow has fallen through holes in the roof and then been pushed into corners by stiff winds blowing through broken windows. The walls and furniture are scorched black, including a table with the charred remains of a book on it. Next to the table on the floor, amid several broken wine bottles, is a mostly incinerated skeleton and a round frost-covered object about 6 inches in diameter.
Okay, so that place right ahead of us is there's a Scorch Skeleton and seems to have a device in it. Be careful of explosions and fire.
Yes.
So
is the stairwell to get up? Is there a way to get up on that platform?
Yeah, so right here, that is the bottom of a staircase that goes up 20 feet. Here, let me.
Okay.
They have a lot of stuff that they default to being on the GM layer, but it does seem like stuff that you would want the people to see the map to be able to see it. So.
Okay.
All right. I will motion to Lily that that he should just wait here.
She just kind of flumps the butt down.
yeah, and Piccolo and I are going to peek in this one as well.
Okay.
Just this side room that we're going to have to go
Sure. Frost covers every surface of this abandoned workshop. That's
Okay.
all you can really see from.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna go up to the main door. I have to jump across that gap, correct?
Yes. Give me
Well,
just.
first, you'll have to go up the stairs.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Hang on. So just a second. One thing I want to just briefly say in the meta before we proceed with this section of the adventure, without spoiling anything, I want you all to trust me. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Trust me. Just in the sense of, when we talked about what we intended and what we are agreeing on when we started this campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I won't say more than that, but that should cover it, hopefully. Okay. Yeah, so the stairs are fine, but this is a rickety, snow-covered walkway. The steps and boards of which crackle and creak underfoot.
Probably especially for Archer and myself.
Mm-hmm.
And Wilfred.
So the... All right. Okay. Yeah. So, Rowan, you're going first, and you're going to jump that gap.
Yes, but I want to. Does it look as sturdy as the rest of the walkway?
Well, let's see. I guess. What are you just checking from above, or? What are you doing to assess that?
I just want to look and see if any of the boards that we're going across, or I will be going across, look like they are either coming loose or
They are rickety as hell, and there's already a gap.
well, and this house is on stilts.
Well, and it's obvious, by the way, just by the way you see some of the rest of this thing, is that the edge of the crevasse is like actively crumbling. Like the house didn't used to be right on the edge like this.
Oh,
Yeah, this is a really precarious place.
wow.
I do think I asked Lilith to wait down there.
Yeah.
Well,
So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're specifically asking me the question, does that walkway look safe to jump on? And I'm going to say the answer is no.
got it. So can I? Because okay, so then that means I'm not going to try to get across that gap at the top there with the main door. Does it look like the workshop is connected? Like, so is it connected to the actual whole building?
Yeah.
Well, so do you want to? I mean, you to
all one
get to
building.
that gap, you would pass this door. Do you want to? You can go in that door.
Yeah,
That door.
yeah. I want to try to go through the shop door instead.
Okay. Yeah.
The one the last one that look through.
Yeah. So you open that door, and you can go to there. And like I said, it creaks and groans underneath you as you make your way to there, but nothing else happens. But it definitely sounds pretty rickety, and feels rickety as you're making your way across. But you open that door, and as described, frost covers every surface of this abandoned workshop. There's a work table there that has some tools on it. Along with there's a set of smith's tools and a set of tinker's tools spread across a wooden table with some twisted bits of metal. There is a bookshelf against the north wall that has a family of squirrels living in it.
Do you mind giving me some light, Iggy?
Aye.
I'll cast light on whatever you want to, because I'm right here.
Okay, you can put it on my back.
All right.
On your backpack? Okay. So
Here,
cast
I'll,
light on his backpack.
Yeah. So
I've
I
already got it on my staff. So
Sure. I'll add that to your token here.
Or I should say, who here would not have light cast on some object they have?
Iggy.
Me.
All right.
Because I don't
Well,
have
if you guys just go through and you do that for all of you who need it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll cast it on Aule's shield.
Okay.
Now, is this a window, right there
Yes.
towards the back of the room?
Yeah. So, but what you do see is that this workshop does not appear to have a door that leads to the rest of the building. It does seem separate.
Let's continue on with this precarious journey.
I'm guessing this window would not be wide enough to get through.
You do believe that you could climb through the window. It's broken,
Perhaps
so you'd want to like clear away some of the broken bits around the edges, just so you don't cut yourself. But you could climb through them.
Take Warhammer and just kind of run around the edge to clear everything out. Perhaps this might be an easier way in.
Yeah, go ahead. Just be careful because we don't know what's inside, and we also don't know the extent of the damage from whatever fire happened here.
All right.
Wolford's going in and
Sure. So as you enter and you have your own senses and you can get a better sense of the rest of the room, this room contains lingering smells of burnt wood and flesh. You also catch the faint odor of wine. Snow has fallen through holes in the roof, then been pushed into corners by stiff winds blowing through broken windows. The walls and furniture are scorched black, including a table with the charred remains of a book on it. Next to the table, on the floor, amid several broken wine bottles, not shown on the picture, is a mostly incinerated skeleton and a round, frost-covered object about 6 inches in diameter.
This does not look ominous at all.
And then, of
Perfectly
course,
safe
like
and
in
fine.
here, you see that there's a few other doors, and this
Can I have
right here-
a light aura as well on my token?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lux.
Interesting.
Alright, I'll come inside behind you guys. Now, where is the? You said the round object, round frost-covered object.
Yeah,
With,
it's
like-
right. It's right by the skeleton. We'll say it's about right here. I mean, it's not shown on the picture.
Oh,
but-
okay.
Yeah.
Wilfred's gonna go over to it and carefully nudge it with his warhammer.
Okay.
All right.
It nudges. It's not stuck to the floor or anything.
I'm gonna check the body.
Okay.
Um,
Let's see. I don't think you need to make a roll here. So enough of the charred skeleton remains to suggest that it belonged to a male human. Little remains of the clothing, but there does seem to be within the remains an amulet that looks undamaged.
Does this amulet look familiar?
The amulet's pendant and
one-
chain are made of gold, and the pendant bears the symbol of 2 hands cupping the sun, which was the symbol of the Morning Lord that the church that you had. That's where
Oh.
you met
Yeah,
Copper,
in
who
Bryn Shander.
told you to come
Yep.
here. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna pick up the amulet.
Okay. Yep. You've got an amulet. It does seem magic, just given that it was undamaged by whatever incinerated this guy.
And since the nudge didn't cause anything to explode, Wilfred will just kind of carefully grab the object and see.
So as you pick it up, the core glows with golden radiance, as bright as a candle flame. What do you do?
kind of toss it, like kind of
Oh no.
frisbee it to the edge of the room.
Where?
Alright.
Where?
And this,
Okay. You toss it, and the radiant, the light begins to dim until it goes back out.
No big bada boom.
Yeah, so it's like over there right now. Here, let me go.
oh,
You know, it might have exploded because the guy was drunk when he was playing with it, and so the wine fumes torched everything.
maybe. There's charred remains of a book on the table.
Yep.
So, is there anything legible in it?
Well, let's see. So nothing remains of this tome except ashes and a badly burned spine, upon which you can discern the letters ETHER. But it's clear that that was part of a longer title, which is, obscured by the fire damage.
Okay. I'm going to cast a mage hand and pick it up again.
Okay. The mage hand picks it up, and it floats there inert because it's just a magical effect that holds it up.
Okay. I'm going to go closer and take a closer look at it.
Okay. One moment here. So as soon as you step on that part of the floor,
Uh-oh.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
14.
A 14 is a failure, and so the floor gives way under your feet. Hang on. And collapses, and you fall to the bottom of the gorge and take 46 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, so I am now unconscious with 11, because that I am at 35 hit points. So,
So it doesn't. It's not instant death, but you're unconscious.
Mhm.
yes.
Crap. How are we gonna get down there?
It
Well-
is 140 or 140 feet because it was 120 feet from the ground, and then you went up another 20 feet.
Quickly, give me your ropes. I
Yeah.
know you have ropes.
Yeah.
I've got 50 feet of rope here.
I quickly tie them together. I hold on. Somebody, one of you, get down there as fast as you can.
Make a
I
death
think
saving
this,
throw,
I think this is
Iggy.
the paladin's job.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Wilfred
So-
will help by.
Everybody else, hold. I'm stand back here with me. I will anchor it, but just in case, be ready to hold on.
Yeah.
And
Right.
uh,
So, make a death saving throw, Iggy.
Okay. And that's just a d20, right?
Yep.
Natural 20.
You
wow.
come to at 1 hit point. You find yourself buried in snow, pretty badly bruised. You're just like you can see up through directly above you, and a little ways over because you tumbled down the side a little bit. So you are at the bottom of the gorge at 1 hit point.
Yeah, and I think very faintly you guys can hear cursing in Abyssal.
They're alive.
My legs are badly broken.
I
Like almonds. Oh man.
All right. I need to take a real quick bio break. I'll be right back.
So I guess Ale can go grab our fellow compatriots.
That's my plan.
Do you have 150 feet worth of rope?
Yeah, down the rope.
Yeah, 'cause it's about 140 feet. So I know I've got 50 feet of rope. So if we have 3 or 4 of those, we should be good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it does not require a check to go down the rope.
Going up's going to be another issue entirely. Got
Yeah.
it.
Might be better off if you go find a way around. Climbing up this is not going to be safe.
All right.
We could pull them up.
Yeah.
One at a time, yes, we could, but yes, we could do that too. We certainly could be assisting them on the climb.
You think that it would be a matter of several hours at least to try to go around and come back up to this this area here.
Oh, I think we're gonna have to either get pulled up or assisted back up.
So yeah.
I was
I think we
going
should-
through the equipment list and I saw block and tackle. And I thought, no, I don't think we're going to
Well,
need that.
150 feet is a lot of distance to try to use a block and tackle, though.
I was just thinking of having a pulley that we could have to
Oh,
go
yeah.
through so we're not like over the edge of the
Well, the other
crumbly
thing you
field
guys
of it.
could theoretically do is go back outside and use the tree for an anchor point, and then it's actually
Yeah,
20
yeah.
feet less that you need
So-
too. So
So we will go back and basically haul them up one at a time.
okay.
Yeah.
I think with everybody helping, we can forgo the need to actually make the rolls.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Well, and
that was a
besides
thing, wow.
too, though, if you're also doing that, you didn't even really need Ale to go down there. So
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but that's only because Iggy rolled a natural 20. Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah.
When we didn't know that in the
Yeah.
meta.
So you were a little ways down when you realized that, and so they pulled you back up, and so
Yeah.
but we can
Okay.
So now you know that the area with the dotted line is basically it's not strong enough to stand on.
Yeah. All right. And it is also hanging out over the chasm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
um, so, I'll definitely think we should just have Iggy use Mage Hand to acquire the orb, and we stay
Well,
on that side of the building.
I think honestly we should have. She should, or they should bring it. Use Mage Hand to bring it out here and maybe see what it does when we're
Outside
out
of the
here and
building?
not someplace that's flammable and
I
crumbling.
I don't necessarily think that seeing what that thing does, given the state of this room, is
Well, no,
best.
All right. Talking about seeing what it does outside.
I look at the charred corpse. I still don't think that's a good idea.
Well,
Given the fact that Iggy is
Something destroyed this place, and something skeletonized that person. Because remember, we were told to come and check on someone who was living here,
Mm-hmm.
and that we've only found the one body. So that's probably the person we were sent to check on.
the letters on the spine of the book was ETHR.
No, ETHER, like ether, but you can tell that that's not the whole title.
Okay.
So you're back up top, Iggy. They pulled you up.
You're muted. In Zoom.
Yay! Thank you guys.
Do you heal Iggy or anything?
Yeah, I'm going to heal. Just to figure out how much to actually heal. I'll give you 10 hit points right now. How about that? Out of my
Okay.
20.
That is very much appreciated.
Yeah.
You guys are kind of lucky that the thing wasn't on the area of the floor that collapsed.
Yeah, that would have lost the thing.
Yeah. It probably dropped out of Mage Hand when I fell and lost consciousness.
So Ali needs his light recast.
Yeah, that
It's-
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll recast.
No,
I'll
light's
recast light.
not concentration.
I guess I thought even going unconscious would end a spell, even if. Okay.
Not if it's not concentration.
Okay. Good to know.
Okay, so carefully go back to the room. Oh, I'm talking to Iggy. I mean, you all seem to be back in the room at this point, anyway.
man.
I mean, you guys tell me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think so.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to try and, or not try. I'm going to skirt around the hole
All right.
and go to this first door here, nearest the hole, and open that door.
Okay. You can as long as you're careful around the edge of the hole. There's no danger. And so when you open that door, the scent of wine fills this room, which contains 4 frost-covered barrels.
This guy apparently had a thing for his wine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we have a way to get this back, we could sell it.
If you wipe the frost away, you can see that the barrels are labeled with the label Sweet Berry Summer Wine. Do any of you have proficiency with brewer's supplies?
Nope.
No.
So that's all you know then.
Would I know of any history of a brewer in Tin Towns?
I mean, nothing that this reminds you of. I mean, if you're thinking instead
Okay.
someone who might want to buy wine, then sure, there are lots of people would want to buy wine.
And you know something? It's probably frozen inside, which means that the liquid part is going to be even stronger than wine would ordinarily be.
Ice wine.
Yes, exactly. It's the way we make potent liquor at home.
Again, If we can get it back, you know, you have an owl bear.
Yes, but he's not trained as a pack animal.
It's worth a shot.
How heavy are the barrels?
I mean, it's a think
If they're
about-
full size barrels, then they're
Yeah, it's
hundreds
going to be
of pounds.
pretty heavy. Yeah.
The normal way to move them would be to roll them onto a cart.
There might be a sled or something else that
But
the person was using here.
if there's any liquid inside, we could just like put it into water skins and things like that and carry a bit of it around.
They do seem to be frozen solid currently.
Oh, then it couldn't have been that strong anyways.
Perhaps we should maybe at least pull them out of the area that's crumbling into the chasm, just in case.
Well, I think we have other things to do because we want to
Well,
find out.
I'm going to tell you right now, trying to roll a full wine barrel out of that storage room right now without falling down into the weak part of the floor is going to be a check.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's worth the effort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the risk at this point.
Alright.
So let's go check the next room.
Yeah, Wilfred will try to open that one.
Okay. So, in that room, this room contains a fireplace and 2 empty bookcases. Tacked to the walls and strewn across the floor are frost-covered blueprints. Face down on the floor next to one of the blueprints is a tiny man made of clay.
Wilfred will go over to the tiny man.
You may
Right.
inspect it with an Arcana check if you like.
Yes. A 9.
It is a tiny man made of clay.
Huh.
I'll
Yeah.
take a look.
It's about like a foot tall.
Kind of tap it with hammer.
It appears to be inert.
Let's take a look at it.
Is that-
60.
So I think unless you have proficiency in Arcana, you wouldn't have any way to know what it is.
Boo.
It's
there
just
anything else?
specifically a magic thing.
Okay. I'll take a look at those scattered blueprints.
Sure. So the blueprints likewise seem to be pretty like magic specific stuff that would really require someone proficient in Arcana to make any sense of. But
Say again?
yeah. Well, you don't even need to make a check for that stuff because it's essentially just like it's blueprints in a language that you kind of understand because it's like the language of like magical items and so on. And you
Okay.
believe that this is it shows different experimental designs for a weather controlling magic device. One of these designs resembles a gyroscope and closely resembles the object found in the other room.
So this is supposed to apparently help control the weather.
Hey, Iggy.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what this does? This is above my pay grade. Or I gather the gathered blueprints I hand to Iggy.
Yeah, I do have proficiency in Arcana, so I can take a look.
I mean, so what I just described,
Yeah.
you're not going to get anything more than that out of it. Like that's
Yeah.
what proficiency in Arcana can tell you about them. There's not like additional information to get with a check.
Okay.
Yeah, Wilfred would basically help interpret anything if Icky has issues.
Is there I'm gonna keep looking around the room. Is there anything like instructions for the thing?
I mean, you found the blueprints for it.
Oh, okay, but there's no actual
Yeah.
like how to use it, just how he kind of designed it, I guess.
I mean,
Or-
he's the one who's invented it, so like he presumably he doesn't write his own instructions. But yeah, so you find the blueprints, and that's what you found. And then all of a sudden, a strange gust of wind blows in from somewhere and makes the door to this room just slam shut in a way that makes you kind of all just jump like, ah! It was really sudden.
That was
Are we
not
haunted?
creepy. That was not creepy.
That was totally creepy. What are you talking about?
You can just open it again, but yeah.
Hi. Which door is slam shut? The one
one
room
right-
we're in?
Yeah, let's get out of this room.
Yeah.
Now, was there any books? You said there was a bookshelf. Was there any books?
Empty.
I actually, so 2 empty bookcases.
Empty. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah.
right.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah. I'm gonna come down where Marcher is, and I'm gonna wanna. Hey, Marcher, you wanna go check this room? We found some blueprints. Looks like it's the design or the information about that thing that we found.
Yes. A device for controlling weather would be a very useful thing if we can figure out how to use it.
And not turn ourselves into a crispy critter.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe it may be worthwhile to bring these blueprints and this device to someone who knows such things better than we do. But we haven't come across too many arcane specialists, have we?
no.
Well, I did find an amulet for the on him that was from the church that we went to. They might have some knowledge of his work. He seemed to be a follower.
It's a clue worth checking
Yeah,
out.
going back
But
to
let's
Miranda, yeah.
let's look in this room here.
All right. So let me move the doorway.
See what else we can learn.
So in that room, a stiff wind blows through the broken window in the east wall, causing the tattered gray curtains to billow and flap like angry ghosts. Snow covers a bed and much of the surrounding floor.
Anything under the bed?
Yes. I'm going to search the room.
All right. You don't need to make a check. You basically don't find anything in the room. It does look like, it was obviously once a bedroom, but it seems to just really have no indication that anyone was staying there recently.
Okay.
Would imagine
the
you're
next door,
checking that last door.
Last door, yeah.
Yeah.
Next and last door. I'll
So,
open it and-
yeah, in there, wooden planks have been nailed over the broken window of this room to hold out the wind. Furnishings include a saggy double bed and a bookcase containing some folded clothes, a few blank sheets of parchment, and a set of calligrapher's supplies. Next to the bookcase is a soot-stained hearth, wherein a scroll lies amid the ashes.
There's something in this.
Oh, that scroll looks
fireplace.
worthwhile to investigate.
Yeah. So
And
if you
the parchment on the bookcase is blank, like it's ready for
Yeah.
people to watch. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, blank page. So the scroll, the scroll does not seem to be magical. It's just paper. But in the ashes, you just looking at it, your impression here is not that it failed to be burned, but rather that it was tossed into the fireplace when there was no fire going, and that's how it stayed. So it does not look like there was a fire and it didn't burn. It looks like it was put there when there was no fire. But do you read the scroll?
Oh,
Yes.
of course.
All right. The scroll is written in common, and it says, Macretus, I've had enough of this damned relentless cold. I feel it creep into my bones, my head, my heart. I'm heading back to 10 Towns for a decent meal and a warm bed. I fear this endless winter has numbed your mind, and any tinkerer worth their chains can see that the summer star is a fool's errand. Maybe without me here to incessantly complain to, you'll finally snap out of your obsession. If you truly insist on dedicating your remaining days to this doomed project, might I suggest that 3 is better than 2? I considered telling you before, but you were particularly rude about the dinner I made last night. May the light of the Morning Lord protect you. Signed, Copper.
3 is better than 2.
And as you finish reading the scroll out loud, you hear the sound of glass breaking, and you realize that just a little piece of the broken glass that was still in the window just suddenly like shatters.
Well, I think it might be a good idea to make haste and leave.
Are we collecting that funky summer star thingy?
I think that'd be a good idea.
I think it would be good to, yes. Yes, it would.
Right. Is there
Yes, it's
any
good.
kind of handle on that thing that would
We might be able to put it with your mage hand. We might be able to put it in a sack.
Hang on. I think I have a handout to show what it looks like here. Yeah. Well, first of all, here's the letter, which you guys can see as a handout. But then also, this is what the object looks like with the frost off of it a little bit.
Okay, and so when
Interesting.
somebody picked it up, it was the center part that started glowing.
Correct.
I feel like I can guess what the center part's made of.
What's the
Does
center
it look
part
like?
out
Does it look like Shardolin?
No.
That's what it looks. That's
looks
what
like-
it
it-
seems like to me.
No, it looks like coal.
Oh, cool.
of? Coal.
I mean, it looks like coal, but like, it's. I think reading the blueprints, it's effectively coal that has been like manipulated magically through the whole assembly of this whole thing. But one thing that I think, well, yeah, never mind. You guys can
Okay.
interpret things
So-
as you like.
All right, so Iggy will pick it up again with Mage Hand and bring it over. And we're just holding on to it for... I guess we're waiting to see... all right, anybody got a sack?
You guys keep moving where you are, you know, because something could happen at any time, you know, like you could fall through the floor or something. So I need you to be
Yeah,
conscientious
I am
about where you put your tokens.
I am where I am.
Mhm.
That's where I am.
So
Okay.
all right. So who was it that we were sent to keep an eye on? I don't remember their name.
It
I
was
do
Copper.
believe it's
Yeah, Copper was the one who asked us to check in with his friend here.
Ah, okay.
and I believe it's his friend that's on the ground right there.
Well, that's the only body we found.
Yeah. I wonder what was meant by 3 is better than 2.
Well,
letter.
there are two
2 rings around it.
two rings around it, so maybe 3 rings would have been better.
And does it? I mean, is there anything to indicate that the destruction we see emanated from? I mean, where we found it?
I mean, it was sitting there next to the skeleton, so
yeah, and the entire building is blackened this way.
well, I mean, it's in this room.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back to this room and see if I can try and pick up that little clay person.
Okay. I mean, you're easily able to do so. It's not heavy.
Yeah. And
Okay.
Hmm.
And so, let's see. All right, so do we have like a sack or something that we want to put this in? I mean, how big is it? Is it just like
6
hand
inches in
sized,
dia- 6
or
inches.
is it?
It is 6 inches in diameter.
Okay, okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
but yeah, that was in the original description.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe just
I am going to use my mage hand to take it outside and put it in the snow and see what happens.
It goes poof into the snow.
So
Let me go
put it in the
find-
snow right about here.
It sits there in the snow.
Okay. Well, at least I won't be carrying it around. Dismiss the mage hand. At least I won't be carrying it around trying to get off of this building.
Incidentally, as soon as you're taking it outside, though, the front door suddenly like flaps open and then slams closed.
There is some sort of spirit blowing around here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go back inside here to here,
Okay.
and I am going to try divine sense and see if I can find any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of me that's
Okay.
not behind total cover.
All right. So it's just an action to use that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not quite an undead creature, but you do sense the presence of like spiritual energy here.
Any particular place in this building?
I mean, do you get to know the location of it?
It
I don't think it pinpoints.
It says no. You can say or you can sense anything affected by the hollow location or know the location of any celestial fiend or undead.
Oh, okay, if you do know the location is like that's what I'm kind of trying to say is that like you don't like see. Oh, there's a ghost right there. It's that there is a feeling like there's unrested spirits in the vicinity, but not you don't see a ghost.
There's definitely a presence here.
Yeah, make a
Guys.
perception check.
Okay, what's my perception? Perception is not great, but we'll give it a shot.
Let's see.
is that everybody?
21.
Okay. You are like glancing around, you're trying to get like to understand what your sense is telling you. And then you notice that down there by the skeleton, very faintly, you're starting to see marks appear a little bit like if someone were trying to use their finger to draw in the ashes. But it's very faint. And what it seems to be spelling out, and you're watching it finish the letters, is finish it.
Finish it.
Interesting. So
Finish it.
my friends, do the blueprints show more work to be done on this thing than what is already here?
Yeah. Well, I compare the device to the blueprints.
The device that you found does seem to match what the blueprints say, but as observed, it has 2 rings on it.
Right. So it would need
It needs
a
a third ring.
This is completely beyond my expertise.
Well,
I don't know how to
maybe-
make magical devices.
We could take it to
Um,
Copper and have him finish it.
No, copper was not the
So
wizardy type.
so basically, hang on.
Maybe that researcher we met in East Haven might know someone. I mean, she seemed kind of interested in arcane things.
I think as you're discussing that, though, the door slams again.
I think the spirit has opinions on Copper. Or taking this away. Okay. Where are the materials to finish this? I'll just say aloud.
So, what is it that you would want to do?
I'm kind of trying to get I'm trying to reach out with my senses to see if I can be pulled or led or pointed or
You,
guided in a direction.
you're not getting that, but I guess what I like. I feel like you guys you're asking vague questions in the hope that I will lead you closer to the actual answer because I've done that a little bit, so it's fine.
Okay.
How do we
But
finish?
Okay. Yep.
How do we finish the summer star?
are you're asking me or
Asking out to whatever spirit is.
okay? I mean, you don't get an answer.
What was in that workshop? What was in that workshop that you looked in, Rowan? Were there materials that we could use? That
I mean, there's
Actually,
tools and bits of metal, and so like there.
Huh.
I mean, there's definitely tools in there
all right.
smithing tools, wasn't there?
and tinkering tools.
And tinkering tools.
Okay.
I mean,
Since that door kept slamming, Wilfred's gonna go and look at see if there's anything interesting over there. Anything that might be have the attention called to it.
No.
Okay.
I mean, if we can try to fix it. I mean,
I
not.
think this is what the spirit wants.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's a good idea. Trying to fix it.
Is anyone proficient, or can anyone do smithing?
So here's the thing, you guys are saying fix it. Great.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Adding a third.
Well,
ring.
Okay.
it-
Well, I just wanted to be clear, like that's what
Yeah.
you were saying you want to do.
yeah,
So
yeah,
okay.
that's what we want to do. Add a third ring.
Yes. Okay. So if you want to add a third ring that's like the two that are on it, but a third one, right? Like, so you think that what would be required is that a quarter pound of metal, this is per the blueprints, a quarter pound of metal would need to be melted down in a fire and then recast using the smith's tools. And then it would need to be inscribed with runes to match the existing ones. That would require someone with a steady hand, and the tinker's tools. And then the device itself would need a modification to accommodate the third ring, which could be done with smith's tools or tinker's tools. And so basically there's checks associated with all those steps.
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
don't ask me about this. This is completely outside my. I would not be good at any of that. I'm not that good with my hands.
I mean, I'd be willing to give it a try. I'm not really skilled, but I mean,
Yep. I don't have proficiency, but I'm willing to help.
yeah.
I can give you a hand.
I don't think any of us are proficient in any of those tools.
No,
Yeah.
All right.
this is outside our boxes.
All right. So I will use Mage Hand and deposit the Summer Star like on this thing,
Mm-hmm.
on this table thing in the workshop,
All right.
Okay.
and we will give it a shot.
Yeah, but let's see, head to the workshop. Does there look like there's a like a small, well, something to heat up the metal so we can actually try to make a ring out of it?
You'd have to make a fire.
The clumps of metal that are on the table.
Yes, you would have to make a fire, but there are fireplaces, not in the workshop here, but in the other room.
Okay.
Like a fire here.
So we can just bring the tools in there and just try
Yeah,
to.
we can work here. This may give the spirit the sense that yes, we're actually moving forward with this
Okay.
as a project.
So,
Something tells me this is not going too well.
so looking at the way it's actually written out here, it looks like it's really only saying a check is required for the inscribing of the runes, which does not require proficiency on the tools, but proficiency on the tools provides advantage on the check.
Okay.
But with the assumption that like you're not using the tool. it's written in a way that I'm not going to try to make it harder than it says. So you, by reading the blueprints, you can see. I feel like if no one is proficient with the tools, I think a check is required to account for the no proficiency.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
understandable.
That sounds fair.
Yeah. So I think then for this, using the smith tools to melt down the metal and recast it into a new ring with the smith tools, I think that that's going to be let's see, and I guess probably an intelligence check.
Not
I can do that.
always. Not always.
And somebody's gonna. And can somebody help to grant advantage?
Yeah, well,
Yep.
since there's two of you that have Arcana, I think that So how about this? This is an Arcana check essentially because you kind of.
Okay. What? Do you have a? What's your Arcana Lee?
+3.
Yeah, I have +4, so
Yeah, I'll just give you advantage.
okay. 18. Let's do 18.
Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah, you are able to, the bits of metal in there seem to be already the kind of metal that would matches the existing rings, and you are able to melt it down using the little crucibles that they've got in there. You've made a big roaring fire in the fireplace now, which warms up the building considerably, even though there's still like broken windows, which are very drafty and so on. But you make the new ring and cast it and then quench it, and so now you've got a third metal ring, and so next you need to inscribe it with runes, and that requires someone with a steady hand. So a character who succeeds on a dexterity arcana check, meaning if you're proficient in arcana, you can add your proficiency, but otherwise you add dexterity instead of intelligence.
Would that be Lee's?
Yeah, I have a +2 to dexterity, but
I'll wager Jason's character is better.
But you have to have
Yeah.
proficiency in arcana to have proficiency.
Oh.
Yeah. So I would be Lee.
Because you need
Meeting
the
on this.
arcana to know what you're carving, but it's very delicate and intricate.
okay, so how is this roll gonna work?
I would say roll Arcana and just
Yeah,
add
your
one to
dexterity
the-
modifier and your proficiency modifier.
Okay. Okay. So I got a 10. Proficiency is +2, dexterity is +2.
Okay, so that's a 14.
Yes.
You.
I would have been helping.
Okay, yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah.
So you want to roll that again, see if you do better?
Okay, yeah.
All right.
All right, so that's a base score of 13 plus 4 would be 17.
Okay, yeah. So you managed to carve the runes. There's a few points there where you're about to do something, and then Wilfred leans in and says, "What? What? You're no, this one." You realize that there was a subtle difference between two different runes. You were about to do the wrong one. But with the steady hand and knowledge of the runes, you are able to replicate the runes that are on the other rings. And so now, last but not least, you need to use the smith's tools or the tinker's tools to add the third ring to the device. But that's.
I would suggest you holding that with. I was gonna say, since it glowed when Wilfred picked it up, I would suggest holding it with your mage hand when you try to attach it, instead of you holding it yourself.
Okay. Well, let's. Yeah, that's a fantastic idea. How is this check going to work, though?
This is going to be. I'm gonna just say it's the same type of check with dexterity arcana.
Okay.
And-
If I am casting Mage Hand, I don't think that I can give that I can. That I don't think that I can do both. I can't cast Mage Hand and do the thing.
I mean, if you want to say that you can't, that's okay. But I'm not telling you you can't, because
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
if all you're doing with the mage hand is using that to hold it up, and then
Okay.
It's like a spectral pedestal, basically.
yeah,
Okay. All right, then I will do both.
And with assistance.
Yes, please.
mm-hmm.
Okay. First roll is 17 plus 4. That would be 21.
There you go. So,
Nice.
Yeah,
You-
let's go with the 21.
So, it took some, figuring out, because, as this original design is really only intended to have the 2 rings, but, you thought through how the 3rd ring could be added. You work it out. You get the pieces in place, and you have now added the 3rd ring to this thing, and you're holding it with your mage hand. It is currently inert, but now with 3 rings on it.
So, let's give it a try.
Okay.
If you would like, I have everybody step out of the room and I will take a hold of it.
Yes, please, because I still only have 11 hit points.
Yeah.
And if this thing blows up, it will kill me dead.
It might be better rather than destroying the place to try it outside.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, okay, send it outside and I will, everybody take cover and I will try and grab hold of it.
Okay. Well, everyone be where you're going to be.
Yep. Let's see.
I'm going to be over by Lily,
Okay.
making sure she stays calm in case something goes horribly kaboom.
Actually,
Before I go out of the building, I will say in the direction of the bones. Now we're going to try it.
Yeah. You don't seem to get any.
I'm
response.
gonna take up a position behind a nearby tree.
Okay. All right.
Are you
So you
gonna
take.
get some distance, Ali? Okay.
Yeah, I think some distance might be good.
I think some distance might be fantastic.
Okay.
And
So-
so
20 feet. Yeah, 5, 10 feet, 20 feet seems.
Shield, authority.
yeah, so Mage Hand is approximately like right there.
And
All right.
Oh boy.
grab a hold of it.
You grab a hold of it, and nothing happens. But it does not start its glow like it did before.
Okay.
And
that's
so
a
nothing
good
happens.
sign.
You realize, because it's a magic item that you just spent a couple of hours studying carefully and modifying, you figure whatever was causing it to be unstable before seems to be fixed, but you still would need to attune to it to try to use it.
Dum dum dum.
Well, I think that is something that, knowing it won't blow up in my hand is good enough for now.
I mean, it's an improvement over before when you're pretty sure it would have blown up in your hand. So
Yeah. Okay.
Yay! It didn't explode.
Yay.
Woo!
Yay.
Go us!
Okay. So
yeah, it'll take like an hour to attune to it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But
That sounds like a
you're
good
holding
time
it
for
down.
a short rest for Iggy, so that you can spend some hit dice.
yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
All right. So is
So
everyone?
that whole process probably took some time.
Oh yeah, just a couple of hours.
Yeah, so we're probably looking at making camp here
Mhm.
rather than
Yeah,
moving on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't think it would be safe to do so in the cabin.
No, that does not look. That does not
No,
look.
it-
That
that
does
looks like
not
a
look
terrible
safe to me.
idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Gonna.
All right.
Yeah.
So everyone is just kind of going ahead and kind of making up camp. And Wilfred, are you just like sitting with
Yeah,
it to
Wilfred-
attune to it?
Wolver's gonna sit with it and just kind of study it and feel how the rings move and just attune to it.
Okay.
We do have plenty of firewood, though. So if we wanted to have a fire, we could build one.
Indeed. While we're setting up camp, I'm gonna put that amulet on because
Okay.
I think this amulet is a good luck charm, seeing as it did not explode, and we
Yeah.
also are not trained magical engineers, and we built the toy and it did not blow up.
That is
So
That is a good point.
You realize as you're holding it that you can also attune to that amulet if you like.
Oh, I'm not a religious person, but it seems like something religious does seem to be favoring me at this point. So
Mhm.
I didn't get turned into a crispy critter. So yeah, sure. I'll take the time.
Okay. So as you attune to it, you discover that it is an amulet of health, which
Those
when
are
you wear
very
it,
useful.
it makes your Constitution score 19 while you are attuned to it.
Ooh,
Oh,
Damn.
nice.
throw it! Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's a nice.
see what
little
it looks
gift.
like. So you can go ahead and add that to your character sheet, or if you intend to keep it, you could obviously give it to someone else if you want. But that's what it does.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
So, but Wilfred, as you are sitting with this thing and just contemplating it, as you're attuning to it and focusing on it and trying to just like understand it, you had studied the blueprints, and you find towards the end of the hour that you're feeling a little bit strange in a way that you haven't really experienced before when you've tried like. Well, here's a question: has Wilfred attuned to magical items before?
No, he hasn't.
Okay. See, so maybe you have no idea then if this is normal or what, but you know in principle how attuning works, but like as you've been studying it, you've found it very easy to just maintain kind of an intense focus on it, and really just sort of you feel like you're allowing its energies to sort of merge with your own. But as you've been doing it for a while, you start to feel a little bit like it's a little bit like you're hearing a story, but it's also a little bit like having a dream, because you're sort of feeling like an emotional narrative sort of play out in your head that you don't have a lot of concrete details, but what you're feeling is, this like obsession and this epiphany and this joy of discovery, and then frustration and anger and despair and loneliness and more frustration and desperation. And then you feel like your entire vision is just overwhelmed with like fire. And then as you're sitting there holding it and your vision kind of clears for just a moment, you feel like you see another man's face, just sort of spectral, sitting across from you, and he looks down expectantly at the item and nods.
It's finished.
And you realize you can use it. You can activate it.
Okay. Is it something that I will go on my character sheet, or?
Well, if you're activating it now, the
What does it
spirit,
do?
the
Yeah.
spirit clearly wants. Trust me.
Oh.
The spirit wants you to use it.
Okay.
Is would
Use it. Use it. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
Press
would
the
anybody
button.
be would anybody be close by?
You tell me.
Because I don't think Wilfred would really have moved far from
Hmm.
where he was at.
Yeah, you tell me. All I'm saying is that you have the feeling right now that you've just experienced the emotional journey of the inventor, and now his spirit is sitting across from you spectrally, wanting you to use it right now.
I'll call out to everybody saying, uh, I'm going to use this. Back up a little bit. And wait a moment, then turn it on.
Okay. So, once again, the coal at the center begins to glow and then give off brighter light. But this time, instead of feeling like it's fiery and out of control, it begins a warm glow, and the runes on the 3 rings around it begin to glow. And you are able to, with this device, it expends its one and only charge, which allows you to, right now, cast the Control Weather spell, which allows you to take control of the weather within 5 miles of you for for up to 8 hours. And so what that means is that you can change the precipitation, temperature, and wind. It takes some time for the new conditions to take effect, but right now the wind is calm, precipitation is clear, but the temperature is Arctic cold. But you realize that if you sit here and concentrate on it for a while, within a 5-mile radius, you can make it warmer. Like you can raise the weather within a 5-mile radius, and it will last as long as 8 hours, as long as you maintain concentration on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Gonna warm up. Maybe not to, not to,
Tropical, but
summer warm, but
above freezing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Actually, I was thinking, just to the edge, just below freezing.
Mm-hmm. So you realize, you have this magical effect in your mind that you are able to just bring it up, and like everyone around it can feel just like a breeze kind of starts to come in, but it's warm, and it just gradually, the temperature starts to rise around you, and it takes a little while, it's literally like 20 minutes for sort of each stage.
Mm-hmm.
But gradually you are able to make this extremely wide radius around you into a comfortably warm temperature. The some of the snow starts to melt a little bit. You see drips coming off of some of the icicles on the cabin. And as you're feeling this, and so essentially what you can do is like stop modifying it and just let it be. And so you know that as long as you maintain concentration on the spell, the weather will stay as you've left it, and then it will gradually return to normal. But the item itself has discharged its energy and won't work again.
Ever again?
Ever.
Hmm.
It is a one-time deal. But
definitely want to take those blueprints and the fact that it worked to someone who could perhaps make another one.
yeah, and so you also, as you are sort of feeling this in your head, incidentally, no one else sees this spectral figure across from you, but as you see the device work and feel it work and begin using its magical energies, you see this spectral figure, its face just take on this look of relief and peace, and he just sort of fades away.
Yeah.
But even though the it right now it's not, like the twilight of the day has already passed. It's dark outside, but you find that you and Iggy both suddenly feel like an additional warmth beyond the air that feels like the sunlight on your face. And you find that you have received, the two of you that worked on helping fix it, are receiving the blessing of the Morning Lord.
Really? Wouldn't bring it up.
And what that means is, permanently now, you gain 10 temporary hit points each day at dawn.
Then why are you
10
leading
temporary
with
hit
that?
points. What?
What?
You said 10 temporary hit points, and
You're trying to get me to start shouting.
What?
I
No, but listen, we're hearing some background noise, I think.
Yeah, there's
I'm hearing something.
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't do it in such a way that it's so
Hey,
I'm surprised I'm the one
No,
that's
Nobilis?
telling you that.
we're
Yes.
sorry. We're hearing your noise, your volume very high right
sorry,
now.
I'll mute.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. It was also very hot for some reason. But in any case, yes. Iggy and Wilfred, the two characters who helped repair the device, have received the blessing of the Morning Lord, which means permanently now you receive 10 temporary hit points each day at dawn.
Yay!
That's really good for
And
Iggy. Not bad for Wolford
stack, or
either.
if you still have the 10, it just
Temporary hit points
just
never
reset.
stack. They don't
Okay.
ever stack with anything. So, yeah.
just making sure.
Yeah. So.
Well done.
And it seems that the spirit of Macretus is now at peace, having seen his invention finally work. And you all have a very comfortable.
Wolford looks so happy.
Yeah.
I mean, let's. To be fair, this has been our most productive adventure that did not involve us being stabbed, attempted assassinations,
All right.
random owl bears.
Well,
Iggy
so
did fall into a chasm, though.
Yeah.
yeah.
I did almost die.
Well, so let me ask you as players how you feel about learning about some of what could have happened if things had gone
Oh,
differently.
yeah.
Interested? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Part of the reason that I said, trust me, at the beginning is because, Wilfred, if you had not dropped the device immediately, like if you had done anything other than to say, I drop it or I throw it away, it would have exploded and done 10d10 plus 35 radiant damage to everyone within a 10-foot radius.
Oh
Oh boy.
And anyone for whom is reduced to 0 hit points, which would probably be everybody who took that damage, you could technically get a Constitution saving throw to half that damage. But everyone who is reduced to 0 is turned to ashes. But the adventure assumes that could happen to some people. And so what happens is the people who are killed, either by falling into the gorge or by being blown up by this thing, find themselves in the same predicament that Macretus was in, which is that he is not quite passed on and not quite fully dead, kind of stuck as a spirit in the ethereal plane. And so essentially any players who are killed by that stick around as ghosts and can do the same sort of ghost things that Macretus has done. And for that matter, too, any of those players can just talk to Macretus now. They can just say, hey, dude, what's going on? And he can just explain to them,
Wow.
oh, yeah, I invented this thing, and my assistant tried to tell me that it needed 3 rings, and I didn't listen to him, and it blew me up. And so now, and then if, like those people can persuade anyone left how to do the repairs, then when it works, the Morning Lord's blessing also restores to life anyone who died within the last 24 hours.
Ooh,
Oh,
awesome.
That's a nice.
So
That.
that was why I was kind of saying trust me, because I knew it was a possibility that some or all of you
We'd all
would
go
be
boom.
incinerated.
That we all go boom.
Yeah, and I could
Oh,
understand that there might be initially a what, sort of reaction to that, right? But as it happened, you guys, Wilfred saved everybody's lives by being smart and throwing the thing away immediately.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
10d10, that's an average of what, 55 damage?
10d10 plus
So
35.
the average is 90 radiant damage.
Yeah, 10d10 plus 35. Yeah, that's
And that's if
there's
you
no coming back from that.
and it's a DC 17 Constitution saving throw to
Yeah.
half that. So yeah, so
I have resistance to radiant damage, but I really don't think it would have helped.
Yeah. The other thing is too that the walkway in front of the door absolutely would have crumbled if you jumped onto it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an obvious trap.
Mhm.
The hole in the floor was that was a little more.
Well, yeah, there's not really any way to notice that ahead of time unless you had specifically gone underneath the house to look from underneath to see if any parts of it seemed weak, But yeah, so good job, everyone. You a couple of you got the blessing of the Morning Lord. You helped rest the spirit to peace.
Jason's got a magic item.
Yeah.
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 But
I think that we should definitely preserve those plans because
so,
there might be somebody who can duplicate that.
Your audio is extremely hot right now. It sounds different than before. Something happened. Like it's on a different microphone or something. Or some volume setting got adjusted all the way up.
Yeah. But yeah, we are. Wilfred will absolutely say, keep those plans.
Now, my thing is, who would we give this knowledge to? I mean, we do have our researcher friend, but this could be dangerous.
Copper?
I mean, we just found an item or a way to make an item that can change the weather. That's as powerful. That means that's as powerful as the person who decided to turn everything into the winter.
Honestly, I'd say give it to the Temple of Morning Lord. They're. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, copper may be able to do something with it.
And be a responsible party for it. I think that's what Rowan's getting at. More like not so much as who can use it, but who would be responsible to have that power.
Yeah.
But also, guys, we've already killed one servant of the Frostmaiden, and she wasn't too happy about that. I don't think she's going to be happy about this. This obviously goes against what she's trying to do.
As you say that, Rowan, all of you definitely notice, because you've been enjoying, I'm sure, that everything feels warm and comfortable.
This is short sleeve weather.
Yeah. But all of a sudden there is an out of nowhere frigid cold breeze that carries with it snowflakes, and it seems to swirl around all of you for a moment, that just chills each of you because with its suddenness, just as you were saying that. And as you kind of look in the direction that it came from, you see very localized, but to the east, about a little ways away, what looks like an unnatural fog cloud.
I'll just stare at it. I will just stare at it.
That didn't look good.
Hatred and loathing.
Do you want to try your audio again, Abilis? Or
How do I sound now?
better, although it's still louder than before. I'm not sure what happened.
I'm going to take out my longbow, and I'm gonna look at that frosty fog looking that seems to be coming towards us.
So, Rowan, as you are looking carefully at this fog, you realize that there's something inside it that's glowing. And then, as there's just a moment of the fog
no.
having a little bit of a gap, you realize that there are 4 creatures in there. 3 of them seem to be very small creatures made of like ice and snow, but the one at the center is a humanoid figure wearing like a hooded coat, but where the face would be is just glowing blue-white light. And they are all coming towards you.
So what you're saying is it looks awfully familiar.
Yeah.
How do I find that?
Better.
Much better.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, something. So the kitten was on the keyboard momentarily. Must
yeah.
have stepped on something.
Could be.
So
So you're all rolling initiative right now, by the way.
You're rolling initiative because
boy.
it's going to be a rumble.
So guys, remember when I said there was this thing with a face of light that I'd seen a couple times?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of you get to see it now.
That's one of them.
Oh, great. I'm not high on the mark. I'll pass it. Mark.
All right. So everyone roll initiative.
Should I roll
don't seem to be on the
separately
turn tracker.
for Lilith?
Yes. Okay. Oh, that's not what belongs there.
Christiana,
Yes.
I'm not on the initiative turn order
Oh,
anymore.
okay. Give me a second, but thank you.
Okay.
All right. So, let me give you guys the handouts of what you see.
Dun, 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 dun.
Lilith got a 3.
Okay. So first, the small creatures accompanying it look like this.
Ace Mephits.
Mhm.
Oh. Well, my cold breath won't be any good for them.
And then the other thing is a cold light walker, and it looks like that. All right.
Are we just going to call it Suffolk 2? Suffolk Junior? Suffolk Senior?
Suffolk the Second.
You know, guys, I've never seen these things move before. Like, this is usually they stand off in the distance and are just watching. So the fact that they're coming towards us, I think, means someone took notice of us and are playing with the weather.
And it's not happy about it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Which means your enemies are servants of the Frostmaiden, which means they're my enemies. So they will die. I have Soren, and this is what's going to be.
And by the way, I wasn't crazy. I knew there was things in the cold that was watching us.
Yeah.
No, I never said you were crazy. I never had any doubt.
All right.
Are-
So
are they
let's get
Coming from the east, the west, the north, the south, which direction are they coming from?
the east, indicated by where I put their tokens.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Are they actually right there, or are they off? In the distance?
They are right there because they
Okay.
have swirled in much faster than it would seem. They did not apparently have to just walk all the way there because they were summoned by a god. So, yeah, so they swirl forward in this rush of fog, and so now Iggy, you are first.
I'm going to guess that talking is not going to be a thing. So I want to hit. I think I have line of sight on this one. with Eldritch Blast.
Okay. On which? The top method?
The top one. The top method.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Yep.
one.
Mhm.
Eldritch Blast,
Okay.
which is a 19 to hit,
That hits.
and that's going to be four damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to back up to here so that I have a little bit of cover.
All right. Okay. It is the Cold Light Walker's turn. And I think, given where everybody is, Marcher, right now your token is like on top of Lila, so I don't know where you act. There
Sure.
you go. Yeah. Let's see. I feel like, yeah, I feel like, you know what? I think it doesn't care who it's attacking. You guys are just you're making it complicated for me to not have it attack the owlbear. So I think he attacks the owlbear. Yeah.
Well, I mean, depending, it might see the owlbear as just a part of the natural environment and ignore it to start with, at least.
No. I mean, these things were summoned by a goddess for you interfering with her business. She knows what's going on.
Okay.
She knows the score.
Yeah, but so I think because you're all hiding behind the owlbear or other things.
I haven't had a chance to step out.
Actually, you know what? I take it back entirely because Wilfred is not like the. Bear in mind, this house is 20 feet up, so they can totally see
Right.
underneath that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Wilfred, you're getting a cold ray to the face.
They can certainly try.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, they do have to roll to hit. So only an 11.
That misses.
Yeah, so basically the light, this hateful blue light from its face just seems to shoot out, but you are able to evade. It tries again. It gets an 18.
Miss.
All right.
What's your armor
what-
class, Wilfred?
19.
Dang.
Shield, heavy armor. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't have any
Um,
dexterity. But
yeah.
bonus, so
All right,
it's
so
better.
that is its turn, and I think it does boom, 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 boom. Yeah. It's walking through there. That is its turn. Rowan, your turn.
Okay. Since I was behind the tree, I'm gonna come out. Oh, well, alrighty. And I'm going to. That's a nasty critter. I'm going to. Cast. I'm going to use Ensnaring Strike, and I'm going to try to shoot the thing that has been haunting me since we started the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Ah!
Nate, yeah,
Well-
probably. No.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no.
But yeah, that's so I'm gonna move back behind the tree.
Okay. By
What's
the
in-
way, for the tied initiatives, I'm just going to have them be in the order that they are here, unless you guys really are concerned about it.
No, that's fine.
All right. So, Marcher.
I am going to take out my staff, hold it in two hands, and cast False Life
Okay.
at second level. So that gives me 10 temporary hit points.
Okay. All right.
And I'm not going to move.
Okay. That makes it the Mephit's turn. So the first Mephit casts Fog Cloud, which creates a 20-foot radius sphere of fog where it is heavily obscured. And so, let's see. Here we go. Let's see, 20-foot radius. Whoops. Wow, what shape is that? Hang on. Draw shape. Come on, man. Why? There we go. Finally. Okay. 20 foot. So I think. Gosh, give me a second. I have to draw it in the actual right place. For Pete's sake. Dear Roll20, will you let me keep my tool selected? Okay. Alright. So, cast the fog cloud. Right there. So those of you who are now within that circle are completely blinded in the fog.
Oh, great.
I will actually move it to the back, just so that you know where your tokens are, but you are completely within the fog. So that was one Mephit that did that. The others, yeah, let's see. Yeah, this guy comes up here, and he's going to do a frost breath against the Lila and Marcher. So I needed 10 DC 10 dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Got a 3 for myself, and a 6 for.
Okay,
Lila.
so those are both failures, but this is cold damage, so
Right.
it's 7 cold damage, but obviously if you're resistant to cold damage, that applies.
Yes. Right. So 7 damage to Lila and 3 damage to me,
Okay. And then, what are these?
which comes off my temporary hit points.
All right, and then I think this third one is going to come up here and claw at Lila.
Okay.
But misses.
Yes.
My instinct, by the way, is to not attack your new owlbear friend right away, especially because it's not necessarily wouldn't be the obvious target, except for just literally physically in the locations where you all are on the battlefield.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah. No need to apologize, because Lila's going to go Lila shit on the
Yeah.
on the Mephits next round. So.
All right. Well then. Okay, so that was the Mephit's turn. Ale, it's your turn, but you are in fog.
Okay, so what can I reasonably do while I'm in fog?
I mean,
Stumble your way out.
Yeah,
you can't see, so you tell me.
So what's the mechanic? I want to, because before the fog came up, I saw that cold walker heading that way. I want to head towards the cold walker, basically.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, you can kind of charge in that approximate direction.
Yes.
All right. So I think you find there that you are at the border of where the fog is, but it's right there. So I think that if you sidestep one, you can be just out of the fog and attack it.
Like here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, so that's my movement action. So then with my regular action, I'm going to Yeah, I think I should just go right up and do that from the beginning. So I'm going to Vow Enmity the guy with my regular action,
Mm-hmm.
and then with my bonus action, I will cast Hunter's Mark on him.
Okay.
So I don't actually attack him this time, but I'll just mark him up both ways.
Okay.
I've got my sword and shield out, so if he decides to go striking at Marcher, I'll at least be able to cover him.
Sure. All right. So that is Ali's turn. Piccolo is also in fog.
I think Piccolo is going to come to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much going to be the end of his turn.
All right. Wilfred.
Okay. Well, so I think it's pretty safe to say that the Cold Light Walker is the biggest threat. So gonna move up to him and try and swing with the hammer.
Sure.
Hammer, hammer, hammer time.
But that's just an 8.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, an 8 misses. Okay. So, that is your turn then, right? Yeah?
Yep.
All right. Lila's turn.
Lila claws at the mephit to the south that actually tried to snag it.
Woot woot.
And gets critical miss with a 1.
Oh.
Well, okay, the claws didn't work. Let's try the beak.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh my
Two in a
God.
row?
Oh.
Two
Aw.
critical failures in a row. Man.
Yeah. That's a
Okay,
bummer.
well, that's Lila's turn.
So what was that third one? Was that just a?
The third was just checking to make
Yeah.
sure that it wasn't broken.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Oof.
Yeah. All right. Boy, yeah, I think Lila is suddenly feeling like maybe this wasn't such a good deal. All right. Iggy, your turn, but you are in fog.
Right. Let's see. I know that I'm in the middle of a tree because that is where I was.
Uh-huh.
They won't leave you alone, though.
Yeah, the also haha. Yes, I got that. I am going to move I don't really want to stumble on the battlefield. I'm going to move backwards.
All right.
Out of the fog bank.
Okay.
You know,
So-
being very careful that
Mhm.
being very careful that I don't fall over the edge of the cliff again.
Yeah.
Yes,
Makes
please
sense.
don't.
Yeah. So you emerge from the fog and you can see again, but you can't see through where the fog is.
Right.
So you recognize that the fog is now between you and everything else that's happening.
Right. So I'm going to kind of follow the circumference of the fog.
Okay. I think you have one more square.
Okay.
If you want, Piccolo could have been like riding your shoulder or something.
Yeah. Well, I think he's in my hood.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
It took in there. All right. That's your turn. It is the Cold Light Walker's turn. And it is going to try to slam at Wilfred, who is the most recent
Okay,
one
I
trying
will
to
impose
attack.
disadvantage on it.
Well, okay. First thing, though, that's going to happen is that Wilfred is going to need to make a Constitution saving throw as this light from within its hood suddenly flares up into a blinding,
Oh, nice.
blinding glare.
15?
15 is a success, so you are not blinded. And so then, does your disadvantage, is it on every attack or only the first attack?
It says, well, when you target, you can use your reaction. So I would say just one.
Okay. All right, so disadvantage for this first slam attack. So that's a 16 to hit, so sounds like that would miss.
Yep.
And then the second attack is also a 16, so it does not hit with either of those. All right, that makes it Rowan's turn.
Alrighty. So let's. So I know where I am. I'm not lost. Just can't see. I'm going to go towards the cabin
Okay.
here.
Mm-hmm.
From this vantage point, I can't see the attackers, can I?
No.
No.
But you have 2 more squares of movement, though, that you could take.
Okay. Oh well, it's on stilts. I don't know why. I can see under
Mhm.
those.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll move here and there. And can I see the shiny face person under the stilts?
Yeah. So like you see him past Ale and Wilfred.
Yes. So then I will. I moved. Okay. Again, I'll try ensnaring strike and shoot him with my bow.
All right.
Hopefully, I can actually hit him this go round.
All right. A
Yes.
20 does hit.
32.
Nice.
That's a 30-20. So then that's 8. D8 plus 1. Oh, that's 4 points of damage.
Okay.
And they will have to make the walker has to make a DC 13 strength check or
Strength.
be ensnared.
Strength. It gets a 14.
And my tendrils wither away.
Yeah. They.
But I don't know. Was that the first time he was hit, by the way?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yep. Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so no one.
No Colossus Slayer this turn, but now he's been hit. So, all right. That is Rowan's turn. Marcher.
Okay. I have a feeling that cold is going to be immune to cold.
Yeah.
But I'm really not too interested in being directly next to it.
Mm.
So I think I need to support Lila actually, 'cause-
Yeah.
So I'm going to disengage and move over here.
All right. All right. So that's your
That's
turn,
my-
right? Anything
That's
else?
my turn.
Okay. So now it is the Mephits again. This Mephit up here is going to use its fog cloud to make another fog cloud.
Oh yeah, yay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least it's just copy and paste.
Yeah. So
But even so, yeah, these things are nasty.
yeah.
Anybody got a wind
Actually, I
spell?
think. Hang on. Let me just double check something real quick here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah, I think it does that. All right, and then the other 2 Mephits. One of them is flying up to do another claw attack on Lila. Gets a 5. But then the third one is attacking you, Marcher. It gets a 21.
That hits.
Yeah. So that's going to be. Oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing there. So it is 3 slashing plus 4 cold damage. So you would have
Okay,
the
so
cold
that's
damage.
5.
Yeah.
And again, off the temporary hit points.
All right. That's the methods. Ale, your turn. Although you are now you know that you're just sort of on the the outside of this fog, but you are currently in it and can't see. You know it was right there, but
so if I move out of the fog, he'll be able to slam at me, correct?
you could move right here.
Like right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to move right there,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to use my longsword against him
Okay.
with advantage because battle enmity.
Mhm.
So that's a 16.
A 16 does hit.
Is that advantage?
Yep,
Because of
battle
his
enmity,
vow of
yes.
enmity.
There's 2. Okay.
So 9 points of damage total against him.
Okay. Yeah, you slash at him, and you cut like a tear in this this tattered winter clothing that surrounds it, and more light just kind of emerges from the hole. All right.
Yep, that's my turn.
Okay, Piccolo.
Piccolo's staying in my hood.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, Wilfred, that's you then. So, once again, you know where it was, but you are now in fog. So, you could move 1 square to the east and be out of it.
That.
Yeah.
Right. And that I'm flanking too.
Well, it's if Christian is using that.
Yeah, I don't really like that rule personally.
Okay. Well, I can still swing.
Mm-hmm.
Swing, bada.
For a 7.
Okay.
Ugh.
Aw.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. All right. That makes it. That was Wilfred's turn, right? And then
Yeah.
Lila's turn.
Lila will try clawing one of those
Do
methods
better.
again. Sorry about that. This time gets a 24. There we go.
There you go.
There we
That'll
go.
definitely
Yay.
hit. Which
Um,
one? The middle one or the
claw-
south one?
The southern one.
Okay.
The southern one. That was the first one that tried to claw at her.
Sure.
And his claws do 2d8 plus 5.
Mhm.
So,
You've
8
got to
points
be
of damage.
kidding me.
8 points of claw damage there.
Okay. That definitely still hits it. Hurts it.
And bites with a 13 to hit.
Okay, a 13 I think does hit. Yes.
Okay. And that's a d10 plus 5 or 10 piercing with the beak.
Okay, it is almost destroyed, but not quite.
Okay.
It is crumbling, but still holding itself together through whatever magic animates it.
Okay.
All right,
And that's Lila's turn.
great. Okay, Iggy.
Okay. So I'm basically pinioned between
I mean,
these two
obviously,
fog banks.
it's not on the map, but you could go around it to the south too, theoretically.
Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to have to do.
Mhm.
Is I'm gonna dash.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. It'd probably be better to measure it. So if I go down here for 15 feet, and then I've got 45 feet left, which can get me to like there.
Well, okay. But if you're running through the fog, there are obstructions in the fog that you won't be able to see.
I think
Right.
she's saying that that because of the way you're counting squares diagonally the same as straight, that that should be enough to
Well,
do
but
it.
it's the difference between running through the fog where you can't see what's in front of you versus not running through the fog.
Okay.
Okay, so like 1, 2, 3. So
Mhm.
that's 15 feet. 16 or 20, 25,
Okay. Yeah.
30, like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
45, 40, 45,
Okay.
50.
You can see the mephits from there, but still wouldn't be able to see the Cold Light Walker.
Yeah. Well, that's fine.
Sure.
And I'll stop. No, we'll go a little bit closer.
Okay.
And that's my 60 feet.
All right.
And I think I can see the Cold Light Walker from here.
Yeah, you can now.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Hexblade's Curse at it as a bonus action.
All right.
That's
All right. It is the Cold Light Walker's turn. It is once again going to try to blind you, Wilfred. So that is a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, 6.
You are currently blinded until the start of the Walker's next turn. And it is now going to try to slam you with advantage.
Oh crap.
It gets it would have been a natural one, but it's with advantage, but it's still only an 8, so it misses that one. The second one is a 24 to hit,
Yeah.
and you're going to take 14 bludgeoning damage, and that's weird. Why does it... Okay, plus 14 cold damage. So 14 bludgeoning, 14 cold.
Yay.
14 and 14, so 28 total.
Yeah. As you just feel this thing's hands just punch you, so you feel the physical hit, but then just radiating out, you just feel like this frost forming over the, your chest.
The temporary hit points, is that something that would apply after took the long rest, or?
You didn't get your long rest yet.
Yeah.
We took a short rest.
So.
Yeah. So you get that at dawn. I think you would have it now, though. I think it makes sense that you would get it when you get the blessing. That makes sense to me.
Okay.
It's kind of like, here's a blessing, but it's post dated, so you can't use it till dawn.
So
Wow.
I'm down only to half my HP
Oh.
instead
All
of single digits.
All right, so yeah, that is the Cold Light Walker's turn. Rowan, you are...
Can I move forward and go under the stilt to the home of the
Yep.
cabin?
Yes.
Alrighty. I can't count my squares, but
Alright.
so let's see.
Yeah.
You can do a
1,
measuring
2,
tool.
3, 4. So right here would be 4 squares.
Okay.
But I'm going to ask you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Alrighty. Do. 8.
You run your face into one of the stilts. Boom. And you're going to take 2 bludgeoning damage from hitting your face on a stilt, but you still have the rest of your turn.
Ow.
So now you have, Wilfred in between, but you could also move one more square.
Yeah, I'll move one more square.
All right.
It thinks I'm in the cabin, but it's fine.
Yeah. You are. We understand you're actually underneath.
Yeah. Then I'm going to try and shoot the walker
All right.
with an ensnaring strike. 14.
A 14 does hit.
That's another 4 points of damage, and he has to try to make a DC 13 strength check.
Wait, what about Colossus?
Yeah, you can use your Colossus now.
Oh, that's right. So that's so it'd be 9 points.
Very good. All right, so it takes that damage and then another strength check.
Yep.
Only a 7 that time.
Nice. He is ensnared.
Okay.
Let me. Oh, the API messed up real quick. I'll go back to my character real quick, and I'll know exactly. what happened.
I thought there was a little
Let's see.
thing that looked like
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
vines, but I'll just use this web token.
They're a medium-sized creature, correct?
Yes.
When restrained by the spell, it takes 1d6 piercing damage at the start of each of its turns. Creature restrained by the vines, or one that can touch the creature, can use its action to make a strength check against the spell or to free them.
Okay.
So it gets to make a check every turn and takes
Right.
1d6 as long as it's restrained.
Right. Okay. But and it would take its action to do that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Great. Yeah. So it is.
Is that the first time your ensnaring strike has actually worked?
No,
Thanks.
it worked in when Iggy was almost eaten.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only times it's worked before it was when the thing was almost dead already, though, so it didn't last very long.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's restrained currently too. So if it wants to try to attack without without breaking itself free first, it's going to be at disadvantage. And currently, attacks against it have advantage because it's
So when Wilfred attacks it, advantage will cancel disadvantage.
correct. It'll be blinded against tied up.
Hey.
All right. But that's
It's a pinata.
That's Rowan's turn. Do you have like a bonus action? Well, no, probably making it ensnaring strike was probably the bonus action, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So, Marcher, your turn.
Okay, I'm going to try and whack this method with my staff.
All right.
12.
12 hits. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. These things are not super tough.
So that is, since I'm holding it two-handed, it's a D8, 5 points of damage.
Yeah. You shatter that one to bits.
Oh my.
I turn to Lilla and give a nod of appreciation.
Woohoo! All right.
And you know what? As my move, I will move up next to the next method.
All right. Okay, so that makes it the Mephit's turn. All right, so I think this one is going to fly up to attack Rowan, so Lilla can make an opportunity attack.
Okay, that'll be with the claws.
Mm-hmm.
16.
16 hits, yeah.
Okay, one moment. I'll get up the damage. The damage for the claws is 2d8 plus 5.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice.
Yowza.
13 points of damage.
Wow, almost kills it. Not quite, but
Okay.
almost. But it is going to claw, or actually, it's going to use Frost Breath. I take it back. It's coming up to here, and it's using Frost Breath on Wilfred and Rowan. And so it's a 15-foot cone of cold air. I need a dexterity saving throw from Rowan, and one at disadvantage from Wilfred because he's blinded.
Well, I can't really. A 4.
Okay.
I got it.
Yeah.
Or it was a 4 or a crit.
Mhm.
A 21.
Oh, man.
A 10 is a success, but yeah. So it's only 4 cold damage. So it's 2 for Rowan and 4 for Wilfred.
Oh.
And then this other one is clawing at you, Marcher.
Okay.
Gets a 16 to hit.
That doesn't seem worthwhile using a shield spell on this little critter, so yeah, I'll take it.
All right, so it's going to be 2 slashing plus 2 cold damage.
Okay, so that's 3 after having the cold damage, and that's the first that's actually gotten some blood on me, so
Yeah.
my 10 hit points are out.
Well, the primary thing that they get to do is the fog cloud that
Yeah.
forces you to all kind of engage instead of.
Okay, yeah. Did the one that I killed cast one of the fog clouds that was there?
You know what? Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So one of the fog clouds dissipates after you destroyed that one. All right. That was the Mephit's turn, right? Ale.
Yep, slashing at the Cold Walker with advantage because of Battle Enmity. Also because this is restrained. But either way.
Yeah.
A 23.
That'll definitely hit. Yeah.
$14 damage.
All right. So you guys are getting it torn up a little bit.
Unfortunately, my healing spells are all touch, so I can't heal you, Wilfred. I don't have an area healing spell.
All right.
Well, you could take a step around.
Yeah, I could, couldn't I? I could step here. But I don't think.
Well, you've already attacked, so.
So what is your hit points now, Wilfred?
I'm at 14 out of 36.
You're 14
Looking
out of
rough, but
36.
not critical yet.
Yeah, but if you
Okay.
take
Oh
another
no, it's
hit
an
from that
action,
thing,
not a
it's-
bonus action. I can't heal you this round. Okay.
But you are in a place to impose disadvantage on an attack, so.
Yes, I am. You want one of his 2 attacks anyway, so yeah.
Well, don't remember he's restrained right now.
Well, at the beginning of his turn, he can try to get out,
You can try to get out if you try.
and it's not a hard DC. I'm not a very good spellcaster.
Well, you do lots of other things too. That's kind
You're
of
a
the ranger
jack
thing.
of all
You got
trades.
lots of skills.
Yeah.
All right.
good.
Well, I mean, and let's be honest too. Like, you guys are traveling around much more efficiently than you would have been.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That part's really good.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so you didn't have anything else, Ale? You were just
Nope,
moving
that's
into
it for
position?
me.
All right. Okay, Piccolo doing anything?
Nope, Piccolo's not doing anything.
All right. Wilfred, it is your turn. You are still blinded.
Yes. I'm going to blinded versus restrained.
Yeah.
This is pinata.
Oh god.
And that's an 11.
11 misses, unfortunately.
Whoosh.
But, yeah. It's the blindness that's doing
Actually,
more.
roll the damage anyway.
Oh,
That's cruel.
Hang on.
10.
So you find your hammer colliding with one of the wooden stilts, and it goes crunch.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Watch the whole
So
thing collapse.
That didn't sound good.
it is not currently collapsing, but it is weakened.
I feel like the Ninja Turtles 2 movie with Super Shredder under the dock.
Yeah, and
Yeah, too bad none of us is a turtle.
Yeah.
that's my turn.
So all right, Wilfred. So it is Lila's turn.
Why have I never made up 4 total monks?
Yeah, that was my thought. Is like that would be awesome. Either that or like a turtle assassin.
You have a turtle race in.
Well, I feel like it would be 3 monks and 1 rogue, right? Because
Well, actually, 2 monks, 1 rogue, and 1 artificer.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
guess
true.
so. Yeah, I think so. I just feel like Raph has to be a rogue because he's
Yes.
a rogue.
He's either a rogue
Yeah.
or a really dexterous fighter.
Anyways,
I've seen this discussion online.
All right. So Lila's turn.
Lila's gonna try and smash the Mephit that's right in front of him. 13 on the first with the
13
claws.
hits. Yeah.
18 points of damage.
Wow. Yeah, almost destroys it with that one smack.
And then the bite is 26.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
for 9 points of damage.
Yeah, that one making up for that first embarrassing run. But yeah, it is clawed to bits, and
Does
I
that
think
get rid of the other fog cloud?
Hmm?
Does that get rid of the other fog
no,
cloud?
that was the top one. Has
Yeah, that
that
was
last
all
one.
the top
Okay.
one.
Alright.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that there's a bit of chomps with the beak on that last one, and it just sort of explodes in a puff of like mist and ice, and then there's just a little bit of a
Yeah, I didn't even get any meat out of it.
that one wasn't
Poor
it
Lilith.
wasn't good. No. All right. Anything else from Lila?
No, I think that's enough from Lila.
All right. Iggy.
All right. Well, now that I have line of sight, I'm going to cast Create Bonfire on the Cold Light Walker.
Okay. So tell me what that read what that does.
He has to make a dex saving throw or take 1d8 fire damage.
Okay, and he'll be doing this with disadvantage because he's restrained.
Yeah, it's a DC 13.
That's a 12 with
Yeah.
disadvantage. So yeah.
So it's not that much. It's 3, but
But doesn't it
fire.
stay?
It lasts for a minute, but it doesn't say that the
Well, I mean, I
the
think if
weaponized effects.
well, but I mean, I think if it can't move out of where the fire is, then it's going to keep taking the fire damage.
Okay.
I mean, it just doesn't make any sense otherwise. I don't think.
Okay.
I think
Because
I
it
think
is
that's-
restrained. If it wasn't restrained,
Well,
yeah, it could-
actually, so like, hang on, let me look it up. It is concentration, so as long as you continue concentrating on the spell, it'll stay.
Okay.
And then I think, yeah, so, yeah, anytime it moves into the bonfire space for the first time or ends its turn there. So yeah, if it can't move out of the, if on its next turn it breaks the vines and moves out of it, it won't take any more damage. But if it can't do that, it will. All right, that's Iggy's turn. So it is its turn, and it is going to try to break free of the vines. So that's another strength check. And it gets a 16. So I think it does manage to break out of the restraint.
Yeah, but it will take 1d6 though. So, but
Oh, yeah. Okay. So go ahead and roll that.
There's the button. 5 points.
5. Okay. All right. So yeah, and it's going to move here, which I guess technically Lila gets an opportunity attack.
Yep.
Oh, Lila.
Paw
Oh, only an 11.
Aw.
And 11 will miss, unfortunately. Okay. That is its turn, and it had to use its action to break out of the vines, so that's the end of its turn. You are no longer blinded, Wilford.
Yes.
All right.
good.
Rowan, your turn.
And let me guess. That is the walker right in front of me. Huh?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
if you wanted to try to fire your arrow again, it'll be disadvantaged because you're right up in melee with it.
I know you're not a hand-to-hand guy, but
Definitely not a good guy. But that's fine because I can drop my bow. So let's see. I can drop my bow, and I'll take out my short swords, and I'm going to attack the little thingamajig, the ice flying goblin thing.
the method.
Okay.
Yeah.
Method, yes.
All right.
And let's see here. +2. Does an 11 hit?
An 11 just hits.
So, and let's see, it's a 1d6. So, 2 points of damage,
All right. It's not quite dead.
and
Oh,
since I do have 2 weapon fighting, I'll use the other sword on it.
Okay.
hoping,
The 12 hits also. Yeah.
I was hoping it would kill it so I could use the second attack on the white.
Yeah.
the walker.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
5 points.
Yeah. That one smashes it.
Yay.
Okay.
And if I move away, the walker can hit me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to stay and tough this one out.
Well, if you shift around, you can at least get out from under the building.
I mean, actually, right here and here, you can't move through
Oh.
those
Stairs,
squares because
yeah.
it's the stairs.
Yeah.
So I would have to move
Never mind.
back towards where the fog is.
Yeah, or this way.
Oh, the fog's gone, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it would now that you killed the last Miffit. Yeah.
But either way, it would get a whack at me though.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay here and tough it out.
All right.
I've got a couple things.
Okay, Marcher.
Okay, I'm going to step around Lila a bit. Actually, that probably is going to have not a great line of sight from the stairs, so I'm going to go there. Swapping my staff for my crossbow. Use a bonus action to cast a quick and true strike, and shoot the crossbow.
All right.
Let me mark off my sorcery points. First roll's a 12, second roll's a 22.
22 hits.
8 points of damage. But it's
Okay.
not magical, so
Right.
probably not full damage.
This actually is not doesn't have that resistance, so it
Oh, okay.
takes the damage. So how much was it total?
8 points.
8. Okay. Yeah, this thing's looking a little ragged. All right, you're seeing all these little tears and piercings in the clothing where this same light is piercing out through the holes. All right, no more Mephits, so they're off the initiative. Ale.
Okay, so I am going to whack at the creature again. A 25.
Okay, 25 hits.
Okay, so I'm going to spell a spell slot to use
Smite?
what's that? Yeah, divine smite on it.
Mhm.
So is it undead?
It is.
Okay, so then it gets 3d8 instead of 2d8. Oh, my god! That is horrible rolling!
Okay, so
14
4 of the
damage
5
total.
dice were ones on that for anyone who can't
God.
see the video here.
I do my Alpha
Lord.
Strike and it fizzles out.
Yeah.
Whew.
So
Well,
that-
I like 4 damage that you wouldn't have done if you hadn't.
Still.
I mean,
You-
14,
Oh,
yeah.
4 ones, guys.
14 is still pretty good. I mean, it's just, there's some
Yeah.
benefit there, but
That-
yeah, obviously that's a
still.
little disappointing. Yeah. Okay. So, anything else?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Piccolo.
Still hiding in my hood.
Sure. Wilfred.
Okay. That bonfire is still there, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll dismiss it on my turn. It's
Yeah.
just I haven't.
21 to hit.
21 hits.
Ooh. For 11 damage.
All right. This thing is it's not looking good. It's on the verge.
I'm going to go ahead and use action surge to
Okay.
hit it again.
All right.
21
There you go.
for 8 damage.
How do you want to do this?
Yay!
Alright. Just boom down on the top of it.
It just disintegrates like there was nothing inside at all. The clothes just collapse. but there's this burst of this cold light, and you feel like this burst of cold air rush past you, and there's just this sort of a spiritual scream like, ah!
Oh,
Go join your Frostmaiden.
And it is destroyed.
yay.
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 I'm disappointed I didn't get the final blow because
Oh,
my
well.
Alpha Strike went so bad, but we did kill another.
You know.
Sorry.
No, it wasn't your fault I rolled 4 1s.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hexblade's curse.
Wilfred, I imagine Wilfred here's a an additional whirring creak from the building and just
Scoots out
backs
from
it
under
from
Come on out.
underneath it.
Yeah, like you look up and you see it's starting to go, and you kind of just
Out from under.
no.
Yeah.
I was
Out from
gonna
under.
say, hey, give me, I'm narrating. Give me a second, please. Thank
Sorry,
you.
sorry.
I was gonna say, you sort of see it starting to lean, and you kind of just push it back a little bit, and you manage to steady it. But
Okay.
you know that it won't last long.
Perhaps it's good. It would be a good idea to move out from under here.
I agree. I'm gonna pick up my longbow and leave from underneath this
Yeah.
collapsing building.
Yeah, and I'll cancel the bonfire so that they can get out easily.
So once these mephits and the Cold Light Walker have been destroyed, along with the control weather that's still, actually I'm trying to think.
Ooh.
Make a Constitution saving throw, Wilfred, because technically you took damage and would need to. So you need a better than a 14.
20.
There you go. So
Dirty
you maintained concentration on the control weather. And so what that means is that the rest of you basically know that you have the opportunity now to make camp
Enjoy.
in effectively just like a very temperate, or frankly, you could make it hot if you wanted.
I don't want to
mean-
worry about melting snow that
Sure.
much.
Yeah. But
I mean, you're probably going to cause a mild flood as it is.
yeah.
5 miles worth of accumulated snow melting is a lot of volume of water.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But I think all of you have there. It's a little difficult to put your finger on, especially any of you who are not particularly like spiritually inclined. But I think that you can all feel something that really just does feel like you directly acted against the Frostmaiden's will here and came out on top. And more than that, you've also earned the blessing of the Morning Lord. And you feel like this is a real victory today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are able to sleep well knowing that, it's warm, you're safe for now, and that when you wake up, you'll be level 5.
Nice.
Oh,
Extra attack.
We know what Wilfred wants.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
honestly, if we can make it to level 6 without using the last of the dome, I would hope that they'll use the feat I gained there to copy the spell into the ritual casting.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
we can talk about that.
Well, then,
That's a good idea.
yes,
Well, I mean, it's like what you have is technically a nature charm. It's not really the same as a spell, but we can work something.
Well,
We can work something out. Don't worry about it. All right. I think if you still have a charge of it, then yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think probably that seems like a good place to stop the adventure. But if people want to hang out, we can talk about the level up stuff and
Yep.
what y'all get now at your new level.
And I'm going to mark off the another day's worth of food for Lila. But I am upgrading my Misty Step to Thunder Step, but
What's
Can we make it
Thunderstep?
Frosty Step instead?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Lila is sort of pawing at the little crumbly remnants of where these mephits were, and then occasionally looks over to
Aw.
you and kind of just paw, paw, paw. Like, that was fun. I want more. Where'd they go? Bring them back. More of them.
Oh,
I toss him a string of sausages,
Okay.
and I've swapped out Misty Step for sea invisibility.
Nice.
See invisibility. Yeah, that's going to be useful.
Yes, and just as a kind of a I don't know, a piece of business associated with the spell. You know those sunglasses that Inuit people make, where there's just these horizontal slats of wood or bone or whatever.
Hmm.
That over the night he carves himself a pair of those, and that's how he casts his sea invisibility, is to put those on.
Nice.
Nice. That's
Nice.
awesome. All right. Well, because I was able to get the chain shirt,
Hmm.
I was able to take off my mage armor because it's basically the chain shirt, mage armor, same AC.
Well, mage armor. Yeah, I guess if you're, I think it does have a restriction of like you have to not be otherwise armored, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I've got my agonizing blast back, and I've also got investment of the Chainmaster, which is my upgraded Eldritch Invocation, and now Piccolo has an attack. I can tell him as a bonus action, I can give him the command to attack.
I have just realized looking at that mage armor rule that I've been using it wrong on in another game, so it's fine. But yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Give Piccolo a little bit more to
And
do.
now I've got to switch out spells.
So, since I have that bag of tricks, I don't need to learn. I don't need to use the summon beast spell, but because of the Tasha's Cauldron of Everything,
Hmm.
a bonus ranger spell that I can learn. I can cast second level spells is magic weapon,
Nice.
and it's a bonus action. So I can actually make my bow a magical weapon. So it's a +1 magic weapon. And if I use a higher level spell slot, it can be a +2 or a +3.
Nice.
nice.
Handy.
Once I can bring back the dead once I hit level 3 spells.
Yeah. A revivify, right?
Yeah. Which
That would make it
is kind of
expensive.
Yeah.
like it's kind of insane. Like
Can paladins get revivify once you have the 3rd level? I don't remember.
They do, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's not anything I have at the moment. So.
Well, but yeah, not yet, because half casters don't get level
yeah,
3
I
until
finally
7,
get to
I think.
second level spells, and as with my vow of with my oath of vengeance, those second level spells include hold person and misty step.
Nice.
We're going to
So
be
I get-
bouncing all around the battlefield.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, battlefield control, yeah.
So good job, you
And
guys.
I also apparently get 2 attacks now, just like Wilford. Apparently.
I
I
thought you were
realized
going to Lonelywood first, so that was the one that I sort of did a little bit more prep on. But that's totally cool. I was looking forward to this one because it just has some neat elements to it. That's a little counterintuitive. And so even though you guys didn't let yourselves get incinerated by it, it's still some cool stuff
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, there is a homebrew in the listing called Chill Step that I have taken,
Nice.
it's a Constitution save for 3d8 cold
Yeah. Instead of thunder, right? It's just essentially
instead of thunder. That's right.
yeah. Good
Good
stuff.
way to do changes to a spell is
Mhm.
just change damage type.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, and thunder
Oh,
stuff.
it also changed the save type.
Oh,
in
so it's
dexterity to-
Constitution instead of what? Dexterity?
Yeah, I think the original Thunderstep was. Well, I don't know. Maybe
Lots of times thunder damage is Constitution, like with Thunder Wave, for example. But yeah, Thunderstep is a con save.
Okay, then it
Yeah.
does. Then yeah,
Just the
it's
damage.
it's
But
the
that's
same
cool.
spell.
Yeah, like I'm fine with changing the damage type without, like when it's not really otherwise mechanically different. All right, cool. So, good job, you guys. Thanks for playing. Hope you had a good time.
Yeah.
Quick programming question. Next week is the 26th, which is obviously the day after Christmas Day. I don't know how the rest of you feel about trying to
I'm
play on
available.
that day.
Yeah, I'll be.
Yep. I'll be here.
I'm available as far as I know. So
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, if everyone's available, then I'd say game on.
yeah.
All right, cool. So, thanks for playing, and thank you everyone for listening and or watching, however you choose to do so. But if you watch us live on Saturday evenings, you get to participate in the chat like Roll Stats does, who says, "Great game, all well done as
Yeah.
We
always,
love
fun
people who
stuff."
participate.
Yay!
Yay.
And so we'll be back next week to follow the Seekers on their next quest. And Resonant Moon is in the chat too. I didn't mean to ignore Resonant Moon. Sorry. Terribly sorry.
That's no moon. Oh wait.
Resonates with me. All right, so we'll leave it there. Thanks everybody, and we'll be back next week.
Yay!
Yay.